of the Valley. That's the motto of the 2023 Midland Valley Mustangs.
First, it starts with the mentality. It starts with the mind. I think that's something that we've really improved, is just our mental toughness.
So far, 3-0 for the first time in a quarter century.
I think now with us being on TV and being 3-0, it'll just give more people an opportunity to see kind of what buzz has been created over the last couple of weeks.
Hoping to corral the Mustangs, the Harlem Bulldogs, defending region champions for the first time in nearly a half century.
Midland Valley's got a really good team, really well coached. It's going to be a tough game for us, especially on the road. We're excited about it.
The Savannah River is the line of scrimmage for a border battle on Game Night Live.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
Oh, a beautiful night in Midland Valley, Graniteville, South Carolina, where they are hoping for history tonight. The Midland Valley Mustangs trying to go 4-0 for the first time in school history. You're only 1 point away from having a matchup of unbeatens here tonight. Harlem did lose by 1 last week to Elbert County. John Hart joined as always by Ashley Brown. Our statistician Nathan Edwards is just off screen, and Kira Goldstein will join us in just a moment. And AB, I have a feeling a lot of people who are tuning in tonight are tuning in to watch Trayvon Dunbar, Midland Valley running back, maybe the top college prospect in our area.
No doubt about it. Real quick, though, before I get into that, how did Midland Valley get the Sky to match their uniforms? That's pretty cool. No, Trayvon Dunbar is big time. I just showed you a stat before we went on the air. He has over 4,000 yards rushing and 55 touchdowns in only 26 varsity games. And half of that, he was just coming off, 5 of those games, he was coming off an ACL. He is big time. That's why Penn State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, the list goes on, schools, Virginia Tech, that are recruiting him and offering scholarships. He is worth the price of admission. 73 carries for over 720 yards this year already. Maybe the early front runner for player of the year in the area.
And with that, gets us to our 4 keys to the game, and I have a feeling I know what one of them is for Harlem.
No doubt about it. That's right. For Harlem, let's start. One is, forget about last week. They were up 20-0 and ended up losing 21-20. They got to throw that aside and then gang tackle Trayvon Dunbar. I think the second one's probably easier than the first. Do not give Evangelista time to throw the ball. That's what Midland Valley needs to do on their side of things. He's a very solid quarterback, and he's been efficient this year. And then win the turnover battle. Don't let Harlem win that battle. And if you do, Midland Valley's got a great chance to win tonight.
Teams at midfield, down to the field for the coin toss.
Good leadership, good sportsmanship, all right? You guys set the tone for us. I'm Joe Hightower. I'll be your referee for tonight. I got Mr. Ruben Levy, Mr. Stacy Gatson, Mr. Alex Giuliani, and Mr. James Stutz with me tonight. Mr. Stutz is coming up for the coin toss. All right, I got a dollar. That's a tails and that's a heads, okay? That's heads and that's tails. It's your call. What do you want to call?
Tails.
Tails. If I drop it, we'll do it again, okay? Tails was called. It's a heads. All right, you've won the toss. You won the ball. Which way would you like to kick?
Kick it away from the scoreboard.
All right, turn around and stand in front of the referees. You got honey, right here, Blue. Turn around and face these guys.
My bad.
All right, Blue has won the toss. They're going to receive on this end. Guys, shake hands. Get your teams. Let's play some ball.
Blue won. So Midland Valley wins the toss. The Mustangs will receive as the Dogs prepare to take the field here in Mustang Valley. Kickoff is coming up.
Welcome to the field, your Midland Valley Mustangs.
Welcome back to Game Night Live. I'm your sideline reporter, Kira Goldstein, here at Midland Valley. You got to talk to see John and AB up in the booth, and they mentioned Trayvon Dunbar. When I got a chance to talk to Harlem's head coach, Coach Mark Boyder, he said that the key for them is going to be to lock him up behind the line of scrimmage. He told me if Trayvon gets 2, 3, 4 yards, he's probably going to get 50 or 60. So the key for them is going to be getting him at or behind the line of scrimmage. We'll send it back up to John and AB, and then we're going to start the game.
Kira, thanks. Yeah, again, AB, easier said than done, keeping Trayvon Dunbar behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, last year, though, and it was early in the year while Dunbar was hurt, but Coach Chapman said Harlem was the only team all year that stopped them from running. They averaged over 300 yards a game running the football, but Harlem stopped them in that 28-7 win a year ago. So they've got something to prove. And one thing, don't overlook, we're talking Dunbar. The up front on both sides of the ball, Midland Valley is experienced kids who have been starters for a couple of years, and that is why they are 3-0 with wins over some impressive teams like Strom Thurmond and Silver Bluff.
And again, trying to go 4-0 for the first time in school history. If you blur your eyes a little bit, minus the red pants on Harlem, it looks a little like a Georgia-Florida game.
Oh, there you go. Well, Harlem, boy, a tough one last week. Elbert County, a pretty good program, and Harlem's up 20-0 in the first half and allowed Elbert County to go 21 unanswered in the second half to take their first loss of the year. They're coming off a 10-2 season and first playoff win since 1974 in school history, so coming off a really, really solid year last year.
Will Holder, who is committed to play baseball at Georgia Southern, gets us underway. And here come the Mustangs. It's Kamari Curtis on the return out to the 34-yard line. And so now we will get our first look at Trayvon Dunbar.
Yeah, he is sensational, no doubt about it. Real quick, let's get a look at the coaches as well. We mentioned Earl Chapman from Midland Valley, 9-16, but they were 1-9 his first year. So he's done really well to improve them. In his third season, 7 seasons, he was a college assistant. He's also a former All-State quarterback and college player. And then Mark Boyder at Harlem, 19-17, similar to Midland Valley. His first year, they were 2-8. Last year, 10-2. He's turned around the program. He is a Harlem grad, played at Harlem, and he spent 7 years as the offensive coordinator before getting the head job.
And you see some sportsmanship before we even start, the two lions shaking hands. So on the right side of your screen, in the backfield, number 21. And he'll get the call immediately, and a pickup of 6.
Well, that's the difference. Again, Coach Chapman said, last year when he had that huge sophomore year with almost 2,000 yards, he was doing that at about 175, 180 pounds. Now you can see a lot thicker, 205 pounds, still with that same speed and that quickness in the hole as well.
Dunbar. And that is exactly what you talked about in the 4 keys to the game, AB.
Yeah, absolutely. Big time play.
Baylor
right
Davis,
there.
who's the leading tackler, or has 5 tackles for loss coming in already this year for Harlem. That leads the Bulldog team. Adds another one here.
Well, and he's also a really good athlete, underrated as an athlete for sure. Baylor can get in there, can run with anybody. And he got back there, used his quickness, and made a great tackle. And he tackled him low around the thighs and waist. And that's what you're going to have to do with Dunbar.
Loss of 6 brings up 3rd and 12. And forces the Mustangs to the air. It is complete, but it is short of the first down.
At about the 39 is where it's going to be spotted.
Well, the pass completes number 19, Antron Butler.
Antron Butler on the receiving end for the Mustangs, but he's going to be about 4 yards shy, and so good 3 and out for the Harlem Bulldogs to start the game.
You couldn't ask for a better start if you're Harlem. They gave it to Dunbar twice, and you got a 3 and out. That's most teams haven't been able to say that this year.
Sort of a line drive kick taken by Dyson Maddox. And Maddox will give Harlem football at the 36-yard line.
Our first chance to see Ethan Evangelista. He's been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the area this year. 8 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's thrown for 530 yards in their first 3 games. He's also run for 149 yards and a couple of scores.
So a dual threat quarterback for the Bulldogs.
He got a little bit of playing time last year. He was the backup for their senior who had a really good year last year, but he got some playing time, got to get in the games a little bit, and he's started off great this season so far. Ryan Newman was the starter a year ago.
It is a Harlem offense that is rolling up 34 points a game, and they're actually more than doubling up their opponents this year. Average score of 34-16. And on first down, the carry goes to Corey Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd is I don't think I know this kid since he was in rec ball. I don't think he's grown since then. He was that big, and he was running over everybody. Really, really good football player, and was kind of raw. Was new to the game at the time when he first started playing in rec ball, and you know, some of the kids have been playing for 3 or 4 years. He's a talented young man.
Evangelista doing what he does best, throwing, but pass broken up. That was Sean Butler, who already has an interception on the year. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
Got ineligible downfield on the offense. You want it? He wants it.
Almost had some unnecessary roughness between the officials unintentionally there.
Clothesline. You're not allowed to clothesline in high school football, right?
But you got a good look at Evangelista's arm there.
Yeah, that was a good throw. It was just a great play by the defensive back. Yeah, Evangelista, good athlete, and like I said, the key is the 8 touchdowns thrown and no picks.
2nd and 11 from the 36. And emotional, back the Dogs up another 5 yards.
Yeah. Going to be 2nd and 16.
Dead ball, snap infraction on the offense. Still 2nd down.
This 3-0 start for Midland Valley is not a fluke. They've beaten really good teams. I mean, Silver Bluff and Strom Thurmond are 2 good football teams with a bunch of D1 guys, both of them. And they were able to get the win in both those games.
Who did you pick in that Silver Bluff Midland Valley game?
I picked Silver Bluff. Man, I'm 24-6, and he picks that one out.
That's my job.
I know, I love it. Right,
Evangelista again heaves one. And catch made out of bounds. Nice grab.
That was Ronald Oliver, and he's a big-time defensive guy for them as well. He can return kicks, just a good all-around athlete. He's sort of this year's maybe version of John Atkins. He's not as good as a receiver as Atkins was, but kind of in that playing both sides of the ball and really being in, every situation they need him in. He can get there. That's what he is this year, because they're going to miss John. John was a big-time player last year.
Yes, he was.
Both sides of the ball.
So this is not your typical Harlem look, because they've run it 79 times this year, thrown it 54, but this is going to be our 3rd pass attempt of this first drive. Lots of contact, and there's your flag.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's going to be, Nathan's pointing out, it's going to be 3rd and 1 because it's a 15-yard penalty.
He did a great job of fighting back for the ball and got the call.
Yeah, because it wasn't a great throw that time.
Pass interference on the defense. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
The Midland Valley faithful are nonplussed.
No, not excited about that one. Well, you bailed him out there. You had him in 3rd and 16, and Evangelista the other ones have been good throws. That one he sort of threw it up, almost like he was looking for the pass interference. The receiver coming back to the ball, as Nathan pointed out, was able to draw the penalty.
See number 3 at the top of your screen. That is Elijah Evangelista.
3rd and 1. All right, Mustang fans, this 3rd down.
It's a big 3rd and 1, and guess what? Another flag. Well, the sloppy start to this one. Harlem's going to have the first down for a moment.
Yeah,
the keeper by Evangelista.
Yeah, Evangelista with a great run there, and it was a great fake deploy.
Illegal formation on the offense.
What's illegal? So Harlem kind of shooting itself in the foot here on this first drive.
It's that illegal formation penalty you see more and more these days.
Formation on the offense. Still 3rd down.
So instead of a 3rd and short 1, 3rd and 6.
Well, Harlem got bailed out a little bit by Midland Valley, and now Midland Valley bailed out slightly big time by Harlem. They had the first down, of course. See what they dial up here on 3rd and 6.
Evangelista will throw. Got a nice block behind him, but not there. And down he goes. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, a host of blue shirts in there. I think it was 18.
Which is Dominic Morgan, senior linebacker.
One guy to keep an eye on this defense, too, is Jaden Simpkins. He is kind of the playmaker, gets turnovers, causes fumbles, picks them up. Kind of one of the more underrated players in the area. And then also, they've got a touchdown or a tackle machine on this team as well by the name of Andon Hawkins, who has 40 already this year. So a couple of fighters kind of measuring things out.
Yeah, sort of
early.
feeling each other out a little bit here early in this first quarter. Well, that could have been disastrous for Midland Valley, but able to fall back on it. So with no score, 8:35 to play in the first quarter, we'll step aside.
Welcome back to Game Night Live. Folks, when a small thrift store was going out of business in Harlem, a group of 5 people acted and created Attic Treasures in 2008. The goal was to create a thrift store that truly benefited the community. That's exactly what they've done. After 15 years, they now have 30 volunteers. They've donated $1.2 million to their community, local schools, and fellow nonprofit organizations. Not only do they give profits back to the community, but Attic Treasures also provides clothes, housewares, furniture, and much more to people that can't afford it. So check them out in Harlem, Attic Treasures.
And you see what makes Trayvon Dunbar so dangerous when he gets to the outside and beats you to the edge, gain of 9.
Midland Valley quarterback, number 10, Preston Butler.
And he's got 3 touchdown passes this year, but he's been bitten by the interception bug a little bit. He has 3 of those as well, and this is an opportunistic Harlem defense that has 5 picks already this year coming in.
Yeah, they graduated a really good quarterback in T.J. McElmurray from last year. He was about 6'4", he could run, he could throw. So big shoes to fill, but so far Butler's got him at 3-0. Rarefied air for Midland Valley fans.
McElmurray now at Kennesaw State, playing for the Owls.
And Harlem, man, they are shooting the gap. Harlem always seems to have these little 5'11", 175-pound linebackers. And they got it seems like 6 of them. And they are all over the field. And that doesn't change. Year after year, they have them, it seems. And I think that was...
There's a good look at Earl Chapman, the 3rd-year head coach of the Midland Valley Mustangs.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him last night on the radio side, and he had a lot, really good stuff to say. He's big on this team, man. He thinks this team is something special.
There goes Dunbar. It's not Dunbar this time.
Yeah.
This is Preston McNair, who also has 174 yards rushing this year and a touchdown to his credit. A big gain on first down, or second down.
Yeah, he said they weren't afraid to give it to McNair or number 25, Bam Ford. That time it's McNair for a big gainer. And keep in mind, Joe Nathan Peoples was their leading rusher last year, and he transferred to Silver Bluff.
34 yards on that pickup for McNair.
And I tell you, he's a good-looking running back as well. You're not. At first, I thought, okay, smaller kind of scat back. No, he's a big, strong kid as well. There you see McNair.
2nd and 5 from rounding, pull down 24-yard line.
Trying to make is the 19th. Butler will get it himself into the red zone, the Murphy Auto Group red zone, all the way down to the 10-yard line. Going to be 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
Yeah, a little change of pace. They took out the star, and man, oh man, the backup running back doing a great job. And then that time they faked to the running back, and Butler kept it for a big gain.
12 yards on the pickup.
Now Dunbar is back in there.
Not quite going to be 1st and goal. They can get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
Deepest penetration by either team on the evening.
Evan Phillips, the man in motion. Dunbar, the carry. Dunbar for 6.
Number 21, Trayvon Dunbar, touchdown, Mustang.
Dunbar
His
said,
6th touchdown of the year.
Dunbar said first down. Come on, John. His 6th of the year. And, folks, he now has 56 in 27
Number 84,
high school games.
That is unbelievable.
Over 2 a ball game for his entire, and that's counting. That's 2 a ball games great when you're a senior. When you're a freshman and sophomore, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
We knew he was going to be something special when we saw him as a freshman at Silver Bluff.
Oh yeah.
Peyton Waters for the point after. And I wasn't going to say it before he kicked it, but he's now 9 for 9
There
on
you go. Yeah.
points after.
Don't jinx
this
it.
year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the one responsible. So 7-0, Midland Valley strikes first.
Solid drive there. They, the first drive, Harlem stopped them running the football. That time, after a couple of nice Harlem plays defensively, they got the ground game going. The offensive line opened some holes, and it was 3 different runners. So it was, they weren't counting on Dunbar. I mean, it was, the backup came in and gave him a nice change of pace, McNair. Really, really solid drive for Midland Valley.
7-play, 74-yard drive for the Mustangs.
Remember, these 2 teams a year ago, Harlem easily got the win, 28-7. They both had a lot of respect. Both the coaches, one of their big statements they kept talking about when talking about the other team was how well coached and prepared they were. And Coach Chapman said you could watch it. The second you watch the film, you can see Harlem is well coached.
And the Bulldogs will start from their 32. Again, Harlem, region champions last year. First time the Bulldogs had won the region since 1974. Gives you an idea of just how much Mark Boyder has turned things around.
Yeah, and again, 2-8 his first year, 5-6 the next, and then had the big year last year with the 10 wins and a playoff victory.
And again, he's one of these guys, we talked about it a little bit last week with North Augusta. He's a graduate of Harlem. This is the job he wants.
Yeah, he played here. He was the offense coordinator for 7 years. And when the job came open, they didn't think twice. They hired in-house, and a lot of people were happy about Mark Boyder getting the job.
Let's take a look at what's coming up this week on Local Living.
Hey guys, I'm Anna Christina, host of Local Living. Be sure to catch us every Saturday at 9:30 to find out what's happening in the CSRA.
Local Living, Saturday morning at 9:30 on News Channel 6.
That's tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. Good way to get your high school football or college football Saturday off to a start.
Yep. Speaking of college football, just let me know when you want to talk about the Florida State game.
I knew that was coming up. They looked good, didn't they?
Oh, man. I temper my excitement with, we looked good last year, and then we lost 3 in a row before we went on that run at the end of the year. So I temper my excitement. But, yeah, I was very, very happy with that.
I thought you were going to say, let me know when Georgia plays somebody.
Well, I mean, I won't see you. That'll be next year.
South Carolina could be tough. Tomorrow's interesting as Evangelista gets rid of it at the last second, finds Key Williams, one of his favorite targets. He's already got 200 receiving this year, a couple of touchdowns. But tomorrow's Georgia game is a little bit interesting. Our old buddy Mike New, the former coach of the Augusta Stallions of the Arena Football League.
I knew him well. I was doing the games for the Arena team then, and for the radio side, and got to know him really well. A good guy, and glad he got to go back to his alma mater and take over that program.
He was a star quarterback there. And speaking of quarterbacks, the Mustangs just ate Boyd alive. That was half the defensive line in on that tackle.
Folks, right now at McDonald's, you can get any size of your favorite frozen drink, like a new Hawaiian frozen punch, or any size McCafe or iced coffee. It's only $1.89. And by the way, John, I did have one of the Hawaiian frozen punches, and yeah, they are.
The reviews are good?
Oh yeah, they're really, really good.
It looks good there.
John, where is ours? He didn't bring us one?
Yeah, we'll get to that in the break. That one's in and out of the hands of Williams. Nice defensive play by Garrett Miller and Sean Butler.
Yeah, but that's Butler's second pass breakup of the game already. The coach said they don't try to throw on Simpkins that much, so they go after Butler a little more, and Butler's been ready for to the task so far tonight.
So another 3 and out for this Midland Valley defense. And again, this is a Harlem offense that's been putting up some pretty good numbers coming in. And the Mustangs are going to have good field position, barring anything unforeseen here. Antront Butler in the fair catch. Gives Miss Midland Valley the ball at the 31-yard line. And while we have a moment, let's send it down to Kira Goldstein on the sidelines. Hey, Kira.
Hey, guys. You know, if you take a look at these two teams, you might not know it, but there are 24 seniors on the Midland Valley Mustangs team. There's so much leadership. The coach said he has a lot of trust in his team because he knows that there is leaders in almost every position group. And then you look at Harlem, and they're a little bit younger. They've got a little bit less experience. They only have one returning starter on offense. So when we look at these two teams and the matchup, we're really seeing a very different scheme on both sides of the ball. Back up to you.
Kira, thanks.
Yeah, John, that's why I was a little surprised when Harlem got out of the gate so quick and really could easily be 3-0 because they did have to replace so many key players from last year. So it's a credit, again, to that coaching staff having these young guys prepared to step up and step in when necessary.
Mustangs 2nd and 8 from the 32. It's Dunbar. He'll have the first down and dragging 3 white shirts with him up to the 44-yard line.
Well, I said they needed a game tackle, but not 15 yards down the field. They got to do a little quicker. Dunbar quickly broke that one to the outside, and then he didn't do anything fancy. He used that power and tried to run through some people.
12-yard pickup to the 44. Harlem has a player shaken up. That's a lifelink of Georgia first down for the Mustangs.
You can watch the game live on your smartphone, see replays, watch the play-by-play.
Give us a chance to tell you that you can watch Game Night Live each and every week on your smartphone. You can see replays, watch the play-by-play, and it's all free. All you have to do is download the WJBF News Channel 6 app. Go to the App Store on your phone. You download the Channel 6 app, open it, and watch Game Night Live wherever you may be.
Getting some early reports from Nathan. Nathan, I'll let you share it. It's your news. It's pretty interesting little thing going on in Columbia County.
7-7 Burke County Evans to start. So, Evans with a new quarterback tonight.
The Harlem player is now up on his feet. Is that? And I think that's Will Holder. It is Will Holder.
Yeah.
And again, we mentioned at the top, he is a great baseball prospect for this Harlem team. So,
well, and of course, he's a
Jimmy Lewis
from the
holding
baseball,
his breath here.
He's from the baseball family, the Holder family. You know, he last year he was 11-0 on the mound as a sophomore. 11-0 on the mound, dominant throughout the playoffs. He led the team in RBIs at the plate. Just a great all-around player. He is the son of Rodney Holder, who's the middle son, of course, of Terry Holder, the legendary head football coach at both Evans and Greenbrier.
And
so,
Rodney, currently the athletic director.
yeah, you start adding up state championships in that family. I mean, they could open a jewelry store with all those championship rings.
Yeah, you hope he's all right because he kicks and punts for him.
Swing pass.
And by the way, if you don't mind, really quick mention too, a lot of you may not know this, but a few weeks ago, Terry Holder and his wife's house, when they retired, they built a house out in Lincolnton. Apparently a fire started. Luckily, it was in the add-on to the house, the garage, and they were able to get out okay, but it basically took out the whole entire house. So, you know, certainly thinking about them, and I know a lot of folks have stepped up to help them out in this time of need, because not necessarily even financial, but just where do you go? What do you do? You know.
And Terry Holder did an interview with us after the fire, and that's exactly what he said. He's like, you know, we're blessed. We don't need the money. We don't need, you know, those kinds of things, but may need somebody to, give him a ride to the store or something at some point. They're just very humble folks.
And when you think about, this guy was once the National Team USA High School Coach of the Year. Think about all the accolades and awards he had in that house. Luckily, they were able to get some out.
Preston McNair, the number 2 running back for Midland Valley, is the player down. Let's hope he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, he's got a good one out there. Harlem's longtime trainer is Robert Leslie.
Yep.
And he's out there helping out.
Good friend of both of ours. And so while they tend to McNair, we will step aside. So good news to report. McNair was able to come off the field under his own power. So 3rd and 7, Midland Valley leading 7-0. Getting kind of late now here in the first quarter. Yeah, there is a flag, so this is likely to come back. It's a first down for the moment.
Well, we do have tonight something you don't see very often, a couple of lefty quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
My first memory of a lefty was Jim Zorn, Seattle.
Jim Zorn.
You don't remember him?
Yes. Oh, I certainly
Steve
remember him.
Largent,
Oh,
course,
yeah. We didn't get a lot of Seahawks games on TV back then. But. Here comes the call. Procedure against the Mustangs.
Still 3rd down.
So after all that, 3rd and 12. Butler airs it out. Fight for the football, and it is broken up. The intended receiver was Antron Butler.
Almost an amazing catch.
And there's Ronald Oliver again to break it up.
Yeah, like I said, he's all over the field. Oliver, earlier this season, had a game where he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Yeah, that was a good play by both guys. Butler went up to, make the catch and made a good play on the ball, but the defender was right there as well.
So the Mustangs will kick it away. Short kick. It'll bounce at the 37-yard line. And that's where Harlem will set up. Well, we talked about Will Holder just moments ago, and it was just, what month are we in now? September? So just 3 short months ago, we were in Rome, Georgia, as the Bulldogs wrapped up the state championship. Here it was against Ringgold, the final out, and then the celebration was on for the Bulldogs. Class 3A state champions, 25-1, and the first state title since 1986. The 6th state title, by the way, for Coach Jimmy Lewis.
Well, the 6th, and think about that. How many guys win their 5th state title and then 7 years later, or 36 years later, 37 years later win their 6th? Now, that will never happen.
No,
again.
that's a record that will not be broken. And I tell you what, I was on the field for that for the celebration, and Jimmy Lewis, you and I've known him a long time. He's kind of a calm guy.
Yeah, reserved.
And not after that. That was as animated as I've ever seen him.
He wanted that one for sure, and he knew all coming into the year. He knew this team had a chance too. So he had a great year.
Holder threw a complete game in that championship series as the Dogs have crossed over into Midland Valley territory at the 49-yard line.
And I see Holder standing on the sidelines, by the way. He was injured earlier. He's standing by himself and looks to be okay.
Second and 9. 107 seconds to go in the first. Evangelista play fake. And Hosey Dukes, a nominee for the all-name team,
Also, he was
there to break it up.
Almost a nominee for Player of the Week a couple weeks ago when he had a big game, double-digit tackles, and he's down now.
He walked away from the play fine, and now is sitting on the ground.
This Midland Valley secondary has done a really solid job staying with these receivers.
While they tend to him, let's take a look at what's coming up on the Means Report this week.
The parents need to have more information about what goes on in their children's schools. Also, when will we get inflation in check? And when will more people go back to work? Congressman Rick Allen on the Means Report.
And so Duke's also able to walk off under his own power, but man, a lot of injuries here in this first quarter.
And it's not done like cramps in a lot of cases. You know, that with this humidity and early in the season still, you might think that, but it hasn't been really cramping.
3rd and 9. Line to make is the 40. And the Bulldogs will try to run for it, and it'll be about 4 yards short. Is Corey Boyd.
Playing field position here, AB, or are you punting this ball away? Playing field position, or are you going for it?
I'm probably punting and playing field position.
Well, apparently Mark Boyder is listening to you because...
And I guess a lot of that depended on Will Holder's.
He is in.
Yeah, he is in there, so.
Number 15 on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, committed to Georgia Southern, where both of his uncles played. His dad didn't play. His dad played at Georgia College and State, but both of his uncles played at Georgia Southern.
Oh, that's a fake. Holder will throw. We talked about that pitching arm, and it is complete. And it is Baylor Davis. The distance, 4-6, 49 yards. Touchdown, Harlem.
Now, this guy just came out of the game with an injury. I mean, he's Superman. He wins the baseball state title game with a complete game as a sophomore, and he comes in here with a fake punt, gutsy call by Coach Boyder and company, and it turns out, obviously, they dialed it up perfectly.
Wow. Just when you thought Midland Valley had all the momentum, about to get the ball back, leading 7-0, here comes Harlem.
And now Holder will try to add the extra point after his throw.
That was the old, you're going to call a fake punt? Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I'll get back out there.
Yeah, you're going to let me pass it.
And now 10 of 14 on points after is Will Holder.
Well, I just had a former Evans Knight message me watching the game online and said, what number is the Holder kid? And it was right before he got hurt. So he's watched him get hurt, come back in the game, throw a touchdown, kick an extra point.
Didn't miss a thing.
Wow, that turned some things around. It really, you know, it's crazy. We should have been looking for it where they're at in the field, but it caught everybody off guard. Midland Valley was not expecting it.
Well, and not to mention you have pretty accurate thrower as your punter. Kira, you have some more info on the man of the hour who just scored the touchdown, Baylor Davis.
Coach Boyder earlier in the week, and he said, you know, when we talk about Baylor Davis, he's the leading tackler, he's the leader of the defense, especially on the front seven, but what they're really excited about is the other things that he can do on the other side of the ball as well. He said he's really excited to be able to use him in a lot of different ways, and then he's brought a lot of dynamic attention to this team, and I think we just saw that right there.
Yeah, we said in the pregame, or at the beginning of the game, when he made a play that, you know, he's one of the better athletes out there. He can run, and he showed it on that nice run after the catch. North Augusta, by the way, keep an eye on them. They're playing a pretty good Greenwood team tonight, and they are dominating. It's 21-7 North Augusta. We'll have some more scores for you at halftime from around the area.
That North Augusta team really kind of came alive in the second half on Game Night Live last week.
I agree, because Greenwood beat Dorman, and Dorman beat North Augusta, and now North Augusta's beating Greenwood. So weird. And the only touchdown for Greenwood was a fumble recovery. So North Augusta getting it done tonight.
Back to the work is Trayvon Dunbar, and Johnny on the spot. Guess who on the tackle?
Baylor Davis, there he is.
We asked this question last week. Has anybody ever been the offensive and defensive player of the game?
We had some guys that probably could have over the years. Brendan Douglas,
Yeah, Brendan
Clark
Douglas
Jackson.
definitely probably should have a few times.
Yeah, there have been a few guys that could have.
Could save our friends at McDonald's a plaque.
I'm sure Gator Green defensively
Yeah,
took. He had one game where he had a couple of touchdowns offensively and had a pick 6 on defense.
Yeah, that one game he had a pick 6, a punt return,
Yep.
a rush, and either a throw or a catch touchdown.
Yeah, I believe that was at Cross Creek.
Yeah. That was where Gator said, "I'm just going to play about a quarter and a half, and then I'm going to rest." y'all
Still going to be second down.
On the rest for me.
Flag on the Bulldogs. Will set Midland Valley up 2nd and 4. But we'll have to wait, as that will conclude the first quarter of play. So we're through the first quarter. It is 7-7. Midland Valley will have it 2nd and 3 when we return.
All right, and our QBs by the quarter for the first quarter. We have Butler right now at quarterback for Midland Valley is 1 of 2 for 9 yards. And also had 12 yards on the ground.
Sorry to interrupt, Nathan, as Trayvon Dunbar is going to be inside the Murphy Auto Group red zone. He's shoved out. We might get some more tacked onto that.
Wow, I don't think I see
a flag, no. That is not a flag you saw at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
But a huge gain for Dunbar.
I think the fans wanted one.
All right, as you were saying, Nathan.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get, I think there is a flag, but it's on the 40 of Midland Valley.
When they call this flag on Midland Valley?
Oh, yeah, it is. We're screened. We couldn't see the flag on that end of the field.
When they call it on Midland Valley, these fans are not going to be happy.
It's back at the 40, as Nathan mentioned. So it's going to negate that big gainer for Dunbar.
Yeah, while they're working that out. So for Harlem, Evangelista is 1 of 4 for 3 yards. He does have 16 yards on the ground, but I feel like we got to throw Holder in there now. He's 1 of 1 for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, but it's a first down.
And from Holder to Holding. Backs the Mustangs up.
You don't see it a lot. We were talking about those seniors Kira did earlier, and that's the group that Coach Chapman's so proud of up front, opening holes. They averaged over 300 yards rushing last year.
So now 1st and 10 from the 31, and that's going to be a big one. Tiptoeing down the sidelines, trying to keep his balance, and finally dragged out. That's Torian Whiteside, but not before he reaches the Harlem 30-yard line.
He's tiptoeing, dancer over there. But, man, look at the speed.
39 yards on the pickup.
Dyson Maddox saved a touchdown. Boy, showing off some speed there, Whiteside. Valley getting the momentum back here. Harlem wants to think things over here.
Mark Boyder will take his 2nd timeout of the first half. Some good matchups across the area tonight. And, of course, our staff back at Football Friday Night headquarters at Television Park is keeping an eye on everything for you. 11:35 on WJBF News Channel 6. Brendan Robertson, Graham Lee. All the scores and highlights from across the area. And we'll recap this one for you as well. A lot of football left between now and then.
And we have our play of the game, but they've got Powerade top 5 plays.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see some plays from around the area.
And number 1, I believe, gets a case of Powerade.
Well, get ready for fall with Smith Farm Supply in Harlem. They've got fall deer food plot mixes, corn, and deer attractants for hunters, plus Purina and Tucker Milling feed for all livestock animals. They also carry Victor and Pride dog foods, For your furry friends, need pest control, Smith Farm Supply has you covered there as well, with solutions for spiders, roaches, bed bugs, rats, and snakes. Man, they got it covered there.
A little bit of everything.
And for your hardware needs, check out their selection of plumbing and hardware items at the Harlem location. Visit Smith Farm Supply in Harlem today for all your fall livestock, pet, home, and farming needs.
McNair for a short gain.
We're all ready for fall. A little humid tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
But as you pointed out, Nathan, if you look at the forecast, next week looks ideal. I'm ready to start wearing some long sleeves to these games. This is Evan Phillips on the receiving end. He'll be in the Murphy Auto Group red zone down to this 12-yard line.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more teams utilize that big tight end H-back in high school, and I love it. I mean, you think about it, every game we've done, the Thexton kid at Lakeside, we know North Augusta's got a big kid in Walltower. Lubeck at South Aiken, and of course right there, a nice play.
Spotted at the 14. And a nice tackle. That's Davis again.
That was McNair on the carry. Yeah, Baylor Davis always around the ball.
They did give him 4 yards on that. McNair has a hole. McNair has a touchdown.
Well, that's a good drive to answer that big play from Harlem. And you know what I love on that play? Man, I wish I would have saw it before. I didn't see it till the replay. But Trayvon Dunbar, the star running back, had the lead block there and helped open that hole for the touchdown. Love seeing that. And you think I love it. You know Coach Chapman loves seeing it.
Second rushing score of the year for McNair. And Peyton Waters for the extra point. And he remains perfect, 10 for 10 on the year. By the way, you've seen a few shots of them already tonight. Midland Valley has one of the best student sections in the CSRA.
Well, I mean, it's the heat like you're at the beach. So I love it, though.
It was like a luau theme tonight.
Yeah.
And the Harlem section on the other side is almost packed as well.
And that's good to see. A little bit of a drive for the Harlem folks. A little over an hour probably from there, I would think.
There you see the Harlem faithful.
Well, they've had a renaissance in sports. The football team with a 10-2 mark, the baseball team with a state title, the basketball team made the made the state playoffs. The softball team is good every year, and they've got a lot of fan support out there.
So Midland Valley with the 7-point lead now and kicking it back to Harlem. And the fair catch is made by Elijah Evangelista.
Well, now let's see if Harlem can answer. Midland Valley certainly did. And I said one of the keys was to not give Evangelista time to get comfortable back there. Force him to make throws when he doesn't want to and on the run, and because he's very accurate.
He will throw on first down, and he will complete. There's the accuracy you talked about, AB. And it's Key Williams into Midland Valley territory.
His favorite target, as you mentioned, 9 catches for 200 yards coming into tonight. I love that play. You fake it and then come right up and zipped it in there. Beautiful throw.
28 yards to the Midland Valley 30. This time the toss will go to Boyd.
Big collision there between Boyd and Hosey Dukes.
I believe I said 30, but line of scrimmage was the 39.
Harlem with a nice drive so far. Mixing in the runs and the throws, and on the move here, down 7.
Boyd is the back. Jaden Futrell, the man in motion. Evangelista hit as he throws. And almost a one-handed grab. And a flag comes out. It's going to be pass interference and a first down, Harlem.
Well, Elijah Evangelista immediately had his hands up saying, wait a second, you got to make that call, and the officiating crew does. I couldn't see if that was
pass interference on the defense.
That might have been number 3, Jaden Simpkins, on the coverage. That's the second pass interference tonight. But again, Harlem, you lull them to sleep with these fakes and these runs, and then all of a sudden you make a fake on that pitch and then you throw it downfield.
It's going to be a costly penalty for Midland Valley and move the football all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, this is one of these games, I think, which team is better conditioned and which team is ready to fight to the very, very end of this game. At some point in a game, one of the teams doesn't necessarily give up, but they get worn down.
And especially on a warm night like tonight, as incomplete, looking for Williams again, and the coverage was Sean Butler.
Yeah, Butler's done a good job in coverage tonight. He's limping a little bit coming back to the line of scrimmage.
I like that play call on first down. Why not take a shot?
Yeah. And again, keep in mind, Coach Boyder was the offensive coordinator for 7 years, now the head coach. And Harlem used to be a 90% run-dominated offense, and gradually they're opening up the offense more and more. Last year, Ryan Newman, one of the better seasons for a Harlem quarterback in a long time.
Evangelista will keep after faking the handoff, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10-yard line.
Quarterback keeper brought down to the Mustang 10-yard line. Number 18, Dominic Morgan, trades tackle.
And that's going to be another Harlem first down.
Mustang 9-yard line.
Going to be
first and goal.
First and goal this time, yep.
Yeah, we didn't really see his running ability much last year when he came into that game. It was always when he came in, it felt like they were bringing in the throwing quarterback.
Yeah, he's quick, though. He can run.
This play is over before it starts.
He had 149 yards coming into tonight.
Come out, blue.
And now Midland Valley will take its first time out of the second half. So while they do that, we will take time out with them. 14-7, Midland Valley leads Harlem. Back at Mustang Valley, where the Mustangs enjoy a 14-7 lead, but Harlem knocking on the door. First and goal at the 9. Fake to Boyd, throw for the end zone, and out of the end zone. Second down.
Second and goal. Let's see what they draw up here. They've been doing a good job of keeping them on their heels with all these fakes.
And again, Evangelista came into this game with 530 yards passing. Midland Valley's done a good job.
Yeah, they've defended the pass well.
Defending the pass. On second and 9, it will not be a pass. It will be Boyd who is hit and knocked down hard.
Ooh, that was a collision.
Bryson Kemper laying the lumber.
I thought he was going to walk right in the end zone here. That hole closed fast.
That was a collision there.
Early nominee for our Georgia Health Department hit of the game. It's a big third down here for both sides. Evangelista, and they were ready for it. We're the Midland Valley Mustangs.
Big
I think it was Kamari Curtis. Whoever it was, the student section loved it. Our Payne College student section. And so Harlem on 4th and goal from the 9. They'll be forced to kick a 26-yarder. Or will they?
Well, Evangelista ran out.
It's a Ken Nugent one call, that's all moment for Mark Boyder. And he's going to have plenty of time to think about it because we have yet another timeout.
Holder's like, do you want me to kick a field goal or throw a touchdown pass? Which would you prefer?
I think if you think Holder can make it, kick the field goal, get the points is the one call. That's all, in my opinion. The Georgia Army National Guard offers you so much more than what you think. You can get a degree with money for school, learn job skills that translate to the civilian world, make bonds that last a lifetime, and earn pride for life. When you become a Guard soldier, your family will thank you, your country will thank you, and your future will owe you.
So Boyd is on the sideline. I believe Evangelista is still on the sideline, which would lead us to think that Will Holder is going to attempt.
No, it's a different kicker in there.
And it is a different kicker. Good eyes, Nathan. As we have Ryan Bodine, who has attempted a couple of points after for Harlem this year. And no good. So the score remains Midland Valley 14, Harlem 7, 7:19 to play. They got a good sound system here, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that'll teach you a great life lesson. Listen, when you're a defensive back and receiver and all that, and then you also kick, you can make up for it in other ways. But when you're just the kicker and you miss, I mean, I feel
that's
for that
a great
kid.
point.
He's probably crushed right now, and you got to talk him up because you may need him before this game's over the way it's going.
The lonely kicker.
Yeah.
It's intimidating when they hit you with that Taylor Swift, though, to make a kick.
It really is. So Midland Valley takes over at its own 20, I should say, after the missed field goal attempt. And it's Dunbar. Close to a first down, pickup of 9.
And it just like that, nothing spectacular, but he gets 10 yards. I mean, it's. Coach Chapman said he's a funny kid and he thinks he's good at everything. He thinks he can play quarterback if you need it. He thinks he's good.
And he probably could.
He probably could, yeah.
They did say it was a first down. And so Dunbar on first down, still pushing, still shoving, and he's going to be close to another one.
Another 9 or 10 yard run, just like that. Keep in mind, he had a big long run, which called back for a holding call.
Yeah, because he's got 10 carries for 52 yards right now, but McNair's got 55 yards and 7 carries.
And if Dunbar were to have an absolutely insane night tonight, you could see him go over 1,000 yards on live television.
In the first 4 games of the season, which would be pretty crazy.
Second and 1, first down. Pass complete to Torian Whiteside.
The thing that surprised me the most, the coach told me about the offensive and defensive lines, how solid they were, and we knew about Dunbar and we knew about their quarterback and what Butler could do. What surprised me tonight with Midland Valley are their wide receivers and DBs. The wide receivers done a good job on offense, and the DBs have done a great job staying with the Harlem receivers.
That was a first down. Midland Valley up to the 44 now. And McNair back in, some fresh legs for the Mustangs. Across midfield into Harlem territory.
See, this is one of those drives I was talking about. Who's going to get worn down first? We're in the first half, but it is humid, very hot and humid out there tonight.
We might get worn down in the booth.
Yeah.
It is a warm one.
And, again, we're in the first half, but it's late first half. Midland Valley's been running the football, and they're trying to kind of enforce their will on Harlem this drive.
And McNair does enforce his will. First down, then some, to the 21-yard line. Pick up a 28.
Well, we came here to watch the Trayvon Dunbar show, but it's been the McNair show tonight. He is up around 80 yards on the night with that one.
That one's good for another Mustang first down.
88 to be exact.
Yeah, over 80. I said around 80. He's over it. 88 yards already in the first half. So, again, they're starting to pile up that running yard, and that's the running yardage, and that's what Coach Chapman loves.
They'll feed him again. McNair for 6 from 21 yards out. Touchdown, Midland Valley.
He's over 100 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns. Wow. Coming out party for Preston McNair. Now, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. There is a flag down, though.
Well, hold everything. Does not look like this is going to go Midland Valley's way.
Personal foul on the offense. Still gonna be first down.
Natives are restless again. Take 6 off the board for the Mustangs.
Take 6 off and give them a 15-yard penalty.
Yep. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 37. And if you're keeping up with stats, that erases McNair going over the 100-yard mark. So they'll get it again.
Actually, different back.
It was a different back that time.
Butler, Antron Butler.
How about number 34, Bates Young.
Butler, a 5'11 senior, 168 pounds.
Also one on the play, second and long for the Bulldogs.
All these Butler names remind me a few years ago. Fox Creek, Peanut Butler.
Oh, yes, yes. Maybe the all-time all-name team.
One I'll never forget, that's for sure.
Always made me hungry.
And that's a second time tonight where I love seeing it. Your star running back's out there blocking, trying to do something for his team when he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah, Butler escaped disaster there.
Watch the replay. You'll see he realizes his guy's going to run, so here he goes, throwing a block in there.
Right, 3rd and 18.
How do you think those negotiations went? I want to name him Peanut.
I mean, I don't know. Once you come up with that, that's solid gold. Nobody argues, right?
Mm-hmm. And Earl Chapman did not like, pardon me, Harlem didn't like what they saw, so it'll be another timeout with 3:46 to play here in the first half. And the music you hear in the background, they actually have it. We are sharing our booth with a DJ. They have a DJ here at Midland Valley with an actual turntable.
And he's got John's playlist.
He's got my Spotify playlist, of course. Oh, Lord. Let's check in on what's going on with Jenny this Tuesday.
I'm Jenny Montgomery. This week, we're talking about the Laney Alumni Association. Come on, Wildcats, the recruitment challenge is on. Dr. Curtis Briscoe tells me the class of 71 is the one to beat. Tuesday at 12:30 on Jenny.
There's our man and his helper. Second Taylor Swift selection of the night.
Man, if I'd have known they were doing that shot, I would have asked them to let me stand up there.
3rd and 18 for the Mustangs. And Butler gets rid of it, but it is defended and defended well.
It's Elijah Evangelista. The fans wanted a pass interference call. They've seen him called on Midland Valley a couple of times.
But none forthcoming.
Yeah, officials say no, that he made a good timing play.
I know this is 4th and 19 or 18, but, I mean, you really can't punt it from here, and you can't kick it field goal from here, so you just got to go for it.
It's always weird for teams like this because really their best play is to give it to one of their running backs. That's the play you most likely can get the yardage. Although, you know, they have been able to find some success with Whiteside throwing the ball to him. And don't be surprised if they kind of float the big tight end across the middle.
Just wondering if they might try to draw him off to get a few of those yards back, but nope. Butler's going to drop back, heave it for the end zone. They want it all. And a nice touchdown saving catch made by Venturius Holcomb.
Yeah, Holcomb batted
Just a sophomore.
Yeah, Holcomb batted that ball away. Both teams' secondaries have done a good job tonight. Look at that play. Just bats it out of there. Great play by the 10th grader. But both teams really, I mean, think about it, John, in high school football, receivers get open quite a bit. Tonight, these two teams have done a good job of locking them down.
So Harlem takes over on downs at the 30-yard line.
I don't mind the touchdown attempt there, the throw. You know, you're still, it's not terrible if the team gets the ball where they got it. Your defense has done a pretty good job tonight.
And if you did get the pass interference call.
Yeah.
Bulldogs are now out of timeouts. And Evangelista brings them up to the line on 1st and 10. Evangelista to Evangelista for a pickup of about 7.
Man, I wish we had the shot of the touchdown throw last night from Mahomes because that pass was just like it. A defender there, he had to go sidearm and get it out quick. That's exactly what Ethan Evangelista did on that throw. Well done. These kids emulate what they see. You know, they see those guys do it and they want to go out and try it.
Another sidearm heave, and this one falls in no man's land. Don't forget the Eichel's Law Firm halftime show coming up in 2 minutes and 55 seconds with Kira Goldstein down on the field. She'll have some special guests. We'll shine a spotlight on our host school this week, Midland Valley High School. We'll take a look at the scoreboard from around the area and the first half highlights. All coming up on the Eichel's Law Firm halftime show.
Yeah, it's anybody's game here. The two teams have pretty evenly matched. Midland Valley had a chance to go up 2 scores there, but had the touchdown called back on the penalty.
3rd and 3. Evangelista airmailed that one.
Yeah, his last 2 throws, he's overthrown them wildly. He's been so accurate so far tonight, but the last 2, he's kind of got a little too much air under him. And now on 4th and 4, they bring on the punt team. Although,
we think. Well, the team is out there.
That's been some of their best offense.
Yeah, Holder's not out there to punt either, so whatever happened to him earlier in the game after that touchdown pass, he hasn't come back.
Well, he got hurt before the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Dyson Maddox is going to do the honors for him. Maybe Holder comes in to punt for the fake punts.
And that was a big 3rd and 3 and out stop for Midland Valley. That's a pretty good kick.
Yeah.
And really good coverage by Levi Rickerson.
Yeah, Whiteside on the returns. Now, if you're Coach Chapman, you would love nothing more than to take it down here in the final 2:46, eat the clock up, and get a score.
Midland Valley will start from the 35-yard line.
And by the way, tune in at halftime for the scores, and certainly tonight on Football Friday night, because so far there are some surprising scores around the area.
A little bit of a tease for halftime.
If around the area you said Midland Valley in the first half is 168 yards rushing, you're going, how many does Dunbar have?
Yeah. Instead, he's the number 2 back in terms of rushing yards.
He's in there now. He gets the call. Across midfield, and now it's a foot race. And he's still on his feet. Dunbar, maybe one of the runs of the year for 6. 65 yards, touchdown.
Telly Johnson a couple weeks ago. Unbelievable. I don't know. This was pretty darn good too.
How many times did we think he was done?
Well, right here he's losing his balance and he's almost got tackled. No. Here, no.
Nope.
And just outruns
Now you're
him.
not going to catch him. Yeah.
Right on cue though. Nathan just said, all the rushing yards, and he's their second. I said he's their second leading rusher. He said, "Wait a second, give me a chance." And now he's their leading rusher.
65 yards.
So he's up over 100 yards. And they're starting to pile up the rushing yardage too.
And just like that, Midland Valley firing up the Payne College student section and extends the lead to 21-7.
Well, I said that Coach Chapman would love nothing more than to run the clock down and get a score.
He did one of those
I think
things.
he'll take the score. I think he'll take it.
Yeah, more yards on that run by Dunbar than he had the whole rest of the night so far.
Wow. Harlem had done a pretty decent job of bottling him up until.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about Dunbar. You just don't know which snap it's going to be.
Well, and he had one long run called back, but also keep in mind, as a team, Midland Valley, what are they at now, Nathan, rushing yardage?
233.
233 in the first half. Wow. And this is the one team last year that Coach Chapman said shut down their running game.
Mm-hmm.
He said they dominated on the ground last year, except Harlem.
Yeah, we definitely, when you looked at the stats coming into the game, Harlem had played Hancock Central and given up over 250 yards on the ground.
Nathan pointed that out to me before the game. He said, I think Dunbar's going to have a big game. And I said, well, Harlem shut it down last year, but I did pick Midland Valley, so I don't disagree necessarily. And he brought up the fact that Hancock Central, even though Harlem got the win, was able to run the football on them.
Well, you can certainly see why this team is 3-0 for the first time.
And, hey, again, these will be solid wins. Harlem, Strom Thurmond, and Silver Bluff, if they get the win tonight, would be three really good wins out of those four.
All very likely playoff teams in their regions.
Yeah.
On the return is Jaden Futrell, and he is going to go backwards.
Dominic Morgan, the man who grabbed him and wouldn't let him go anywhere, got a hold of the jersey. Watch this. It looked like he was going to get away, but Morgan was able to hold on to the jersey right there. No, sir.
And then he had some help. This is a fired-up Midland Valley team now.
Well, one thing for a small school, man, they've got a ton of support. When their teams do well, these fans absolutely go bonkers, and they haven't had a team with this kind of chance maybe since the Daniel Carr teams where he was the quarterback back in the day.
Yeah, Midland Valley is state finalist, went to the state championship game in 2015, region champions in 2000 and 2010, but there were some lean years in between, but this is not one of them. And they look like they're very fired up here now with 2:14 and less than that to play in the half.
Yeah, they're starting to feel it a little bit, starting to feel that they've got the momentum. And now if you're Harlem, you've got to answer with a big play somewhere. Harlem for so long now, these last 10 years, they've always had a great running back. They don't have the game breaker this year. They've got a good running back. They've got a good quarterback that can run, but they're going to have to do it through the air, I think.
The Evangelista connection will be enough for a first down up to the 46-yard line.
Got a player down at about midfield.
And if you're just joining us, a flurry of injuries to start the game. So first and 10 from the 45-yard line. Harlem, no timeouts. And more whistles.
Come out. Come
I
out,
mentioned
Blue.
Harlem with no timeouts, but Midland Valley has one left, so Harold Chapman will elect to take that. Well, why not? You
Well,
got it.
Yep. Get yourself straight. Make sure your guys know what's coming up. Look, what to look for, especially those fakes. Evangelista's really crafty back there with the fakes to the back.
And for those keeping score at home, we're now on our third Taylor Swift selection.
My nieces would be in heaven.
I've seen her in concert. Not on this tour where you had to pay $7,000.
Yeah, gosh. A buddy of mine got tickets for the Miami show.
Yeah.
Got 4 tickets, and his wife's wanting to go, and he's like, it's like 20 grand. We can't go. What are you talking about?
That's an investment.
Yeah. Well, no, he got him, he won the lottery thing where he was able to buy them for face value, but he's saying we can sell these for a minimum
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm saying.
$20,000.
That's that.
And his wife's like, no, but I want to go. I'm like, that's where I would have never told her we won.
That's almost like the Masters tickets, though. I want to
Yeah.
go, but we can.
Yeah.
Hey,
Evangelista has that sidearm toss again, and how about that stop? Beautifully done by Martise Quiller Jr. And each week, we have a conflicting roster.
Yeah, I've got De'Ami Williams.
All right, we'll go with De'Ami Williams. My apologies. Harlem working quickly. That's Key Williams to the 42. And a live link of Georgia first down for the Bulldogs. So with the exception of a couple of plays, this has been a nice little drive for Harlem. But they only have 1:15 left to go 45 yards. Evangelista in motion. Evangelista throws to Evangelista, and he gets free to the 31-yard line. Nice shoestring tackle.
As much as Midland Valley has dominated the game on the ground, Harlem puts this ball in here. They get the kickoff. It could easily be a 21-21 game quickly.
Yeah, Jaden Simpkins made the tackle there from Midland Valley.
Evangelista all kinds of time and takes advantage of it. It is complete. It is a touchdown. Key Williams again, his second of the night.
Well, right on cue. Nathan talked about the running, and Dunbar takes it in, and now he says if they score, they get the ball at the half. Well, here they go. Evangelista zipped it in there. Nice catch. Missed tackle by Midland Valley, and it's a touchdown, the third of the season for Williams. That's a big answer by Harlem.
You bet.
Good game, good matchup, 2 evenly matched teams.
We've had, just about every week, we've had good matchups on Game Night Live this year. Our opening night when Barnwell beat Williston-Elko 44-0 was the only one that was not as competitive in the second half.
Illegal substitution on the offense.
These extra points are huge, though, with the backup kicker.
I do have a feeling the penalties will be addressed at halftime.
Well, and you back him up, and he's already missed a field goal, and this is a big extra point. Every point matters in this one.
So Ryan Bodine with his second attempt of the night. And this one is good.
It's good. Your score, Midland Valley 21.
So the Harlem contingent with something to cheer about. Now back within a score, 21-14, under a minute to play.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes ago, it was 14-7, and all of a sudden we get 2 long touchdowns. Nice drive that time by Harlem. Evangelista, again, one of the keys to the game, don't let him get comfortable back there. You got to get pressure. I mean, he had all day to throw there. I thought he was going to run. There was so much open space on that right side. But he was very patient, waited on his receiver to open up, and got it to him.
And now Midland Valley, 50.1 seconds left. Earl Chapman does have one timeout in his pocket.
And again, it's really crazy because their best offense is to give it to those 2 backs. It's not like you don't have to throw downfield or try to get out of it. Just hand it off a few times and see if they can break one. You know, if you need to throw, you can, but
Camden Rockefeller will handle the kicking duties here. So clearly something is going on with Will Holder.
Dunbar, right side back, receives kick.
We'll see if Kira can get us some information on that in the second half. But in the meantime,
Nice return.
yeah,
Number 15.
It's Kamari Curtis.
Brought down
Got it up near midfield.
well, you got a chance now for Midland Valley. I thought, you know, if with the one timeout, if they would be just content to take it to the half, but now.
First and 10 Mustangs at the 50-yard line.
No, 42 seconds midfield. Andy got a timeout. And the game breakers that they have.
42.6 to be exact.
And it's McNair in there at tailback.
Yeah, with that timeout, they could still run the football or attempt to run.
And it is McNair, and Harlem having absolutely none of it.
And that was
And
Baylor
Davis
Yeah,
again.
Baylor Davis, a big play there. And that they needed that.
Didn't use the timeout.
Flag down. Phillips on the receiving end. Out of bounds at the 38. Catch the call.
Forced out of bounds around the 40-yard line. By number 5, Oliver Ronald. That pass is good for another Mustang. First down.
They made a substitution on the offense.
We've had
No, it's
more
on
of
the
those
white.
than usual tonight.
Oh, point the wrong side.
So it is on Harlem, not Midland Valley, which the Midland Valley fans were more than happy to point out.
Penalties declined.
Midland Valley declines the penalty. Butler with protection, now under pressure and just has to get rid of it. Stops the clock with 12.4. Now do you try to get just a few yards here and then heave one to the end zone, or?
Yeah, I think you maybe look for the tight end as you did earlier, running to the sidelines. Got him up top of your screen.
McNair is the running back with Butler. But I doubt he's going to get the call. Butler. And out of nowhere, and he gets away from it. Was dead to rights, and now it does get rid of it with 4.2 seconds left, and here comes your Hail Mary.
Well, that elusiveness by the quarterback does allow them, like you said, them one more play, because they would have gotten the sack there. Who knows if they'd have had time to get up and get a play.
And a heads up of him to get rid of it with time for one more snap. One, two, three, four wideouts for Midland Valley. Let's see how far Butler can throw it. It was broken up, and that'll do it for the half. So an eventful first half it was, with some of the plays of the year. And through the first two quarters of play, we have a one-score game. Kira Goldstein is down on the field with Midland Valley head coach Earl Chapman. Kira.
Coach, I know that a big focus for you guys this week was eliminating those little mistakes. 4 penalties for 50 yards and some mistakes at the end. What are your expectations for the second half?
That we need to clean up those mistakes. If we don't, it's going to cause us a lot of issues.
How do you plan to do that?
We're going to go over here, look at the tape, show them the things that we did wrong, show them the things we did well, and try to reinforce the things that we did well.
At the end there, it did look like the team was coming alive in the last, 4 minutes. How do you carry that momentum into the second half?
Hey, we just got to understand that we got 24 minutes left to finish the job. Right now, we're in a position where we're leading the game, so if we do things the right way in the second half, things will go our way in the end.
Tough times don't last. Thanks, Coach. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Game Night Live. If you look around this stadium, there's a lot of fans wearing T-shirts say pride of the Valley, and that culture of pride is so important here to the Mustangs. Talk more about that is the principal of Midland Valley High School.
Well, I think we're the best. I tell everybody all the time, Midland Valley High School is the best kept secret in not only Aiken County, but in the CSRA. One thing that is very important to me is the culture of the place that you work. It starts with our students. We want them to have a place that they want to come to. We have reward programs for not missing too many days. Recently, we've gotten into at the beginning of the school year, we got into a program. It's called Capturing Kids' Hearts. And we're rolling that out, and it's things like just very, very easy things where teachers stand at their door and they're like, "How you doing? You look great today." And it's just real small things like that. And then there's a period during class time where they're just, "Okay, everybody tell me something good that you're doing or something good that's happened in your life." And class just stops and you talk about that kind of thing. It's just little things like that, just talking to people and taking a little bit of time to, it's school, and everybody, they in their mind, they hate school, but we want to do everything we can to build our culture and make this a place where it's good, and there's a place where you feel safe and it's clean and everybody is treated well and respected. Because I like to look out for people, I like to take care of my people and them to feel that. I have roughly 85 teachers, so I don't want turnover. It's hard now to find teachers and things to bring into your school. I know one of the very first days that I started 3-4 years ago, I talked to my students, what do you like? What do you dislike? What would you like to change? And we talk about that all the time too. And I listen to people and I listen to what they like and what they think, if we need to go in a different direction, we try and do that. We are in PBIS where we give rewards for, we can give you chips, drink, you give them points and you give them things for that. Somebody opens up a door for somebody. A teacher has a kid in their classroom where all of a sudden they're answering questions, you give them something. So it focuses on the good and it doesn't focus on, well, this is going bad in your school. And it's a good feeling. I love it here, and it's important to me that we become the best that we can be, and I want all of our kids to know that how good that they can be and what they can be, and that's what all this is about. It's just touching hearts and trying to change people from the inside and getting them to do something good.
Another big part of that culture and pride here at Midland Valley is the band, and we're going to listen in to their halftime performance when we return. I'm here with Cassie Wagner from Smith Farm Supply. And Cassie, can you tell me a little bit about how long you've been in Harlem?
We've been at the Harlem location about 7 years.
And can you tell me about why it's so important to support local schools in the area?
I just think these kids work really hard on the field, and it's just really important for our community to support them on and off the field.
Tell me a little bit about Smith Farm Supply. Are there any fun deals coming up for hunting season or any fun things happening at the store?
We're selling lots of corn right now. We have corn on the cob and apple corn, and then we have rhino blinds and all your hunting needs.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're now going to take a look at that Midland Valley Band. I'm here with Shaheem Halls from McDonald's. And can you tell me a little bit about how you got your start at McDonald's?
I was given an opportunity my 9th grade year, and I attended Barton Chapel McDonald's. The restaurant manager, Latoya Bussey, gave me an opportunity, and they pushed me and made me successful and just coached me and trained me to be great.
Since you started in 9th grade, you know how important it is to give back to the community. Are there any high school students that currently work at your location?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me a little bit about them?
They're pretty outgoing. They're very competitive. They like to go out their way, and they like a compassion for what they do. So I try to coach them and train them to be, not just work for McDonald's, but to make sure that everything you do it with compassion and represent yourself, so you can gain that ideal of what you need to do in life.
Thank you so much, Shaheem. We appreciate it. We're going to check back in with that incredible Midland Valley band. WJBF express our sincerest gratitude to outstanding local businesses in Harlem: Attic Treasures, Smith Farm Supply, who we heard from, and Coleman Services. They've joined forces as this week's proud sponsors of your hometown game of the week here at WJBF. Thank you so much for supporting your team and high school football across the CSRA. We'll be back.
Michael's Law Firm halftime show continues as the Mustangs have made their way back onto the field to get ready for the second half. The Bulldogs are right behind them. Harlem won the toss, elected to receive, will receive the, let me start that over. Midland Valley won the toss and elected to receive. Harlem, so we'll get the second half kickoff, which is now about 4 minutes and 45 seconds away. But we still got plenty more coming up for you here on the Eichels Hall Law Firm halftime show. We will start with our QBs by the quarter.
Evangelista for Harlem in the first half was 9 of 16 for 114 yards and a touchdown. He added another 18 yards on the ground. And Butler for Midland Valley was 5 of 11 for 79 yards and added 24 yards on the ground.
And we've been teasing this all night, AB, that there are some surprising scores around the area.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. There are some surprises, and one of them was a surprise early, but somebody's pulling away now, and that's Evans-Burke County. That was a 7-7 game at halftime. Burke County has scored twice in the third quarter to get a 2-touchdown lead. Lakeside, we figured it would be a tight one there. Lakeside leads Greenbrier 7-zip. Augusta Prep doubling up on Piedmont with a freshman for their team had a 50-yard touchdown just a moment ago in that one. Washington Wilkes, their team to keep an eye on, 33-7 over GMC. Laney over First Pres right now, 26-20. And we knew this would be a shootout between River Bluff and South Aiken, 28-21 right now. Both those teams can put up some points. Bamberg Earhart, one of the games of the night around the area. They lead Blackfield. That's a battle of top 10 teams. 7-6, that's a close one. And North Augusta has just scored a moment ago to make it 35-17 early in the third. Greenwood is a good football team. They beat Dorman earlier this year, but right now North Augusta having their way.
And to mention that Laney score one more time, we'll have the Wildcats on Game Night Live a week from tonight at the Brickyard against Thompson. Of course, you can see highlights from all of these games and final scores coming up on Football Friday night, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. Now, back here at Mustang Valley, let's take a look at the first half stats, and there are plenty of them.
Well, yeah, and it's you look at the one that jumps out right off the screen is that 236 rushing. Midland Valley with over 300 total yards. Harlem got back in it with some of the passing yards, but they got outrushed by 200 yards. They've got to get a ground game going in the second half. And really, one of the things that's interesting to me, I thought Midland Valley had way more penalties, way more penalty yards. They do have 35 more yards, but only one more penalty than Harlem had. It seemed different just watching the game. So stats bear out what we see. Midland Valley leads by a touchdown, but as Nathan pointed out, if Harlem scored, they get the ball to start the second half. That's exactly what they did. They need to get something going here early in the second half. And like I said, maybe establish the run to take some pressure off Evangelista.
And again, those penalty yards for Midland Valley, Earl Chapman right before the half in his discussion with Kira mentioned that they'll be addressing that at halftime. So it'll be interesting to see if the Mustangs can clean it up a little bit in the second. But either way, they have the 7-point lead, 21-14. So let's show you how we got to 21-14 with your first half highlights.
Yeah, you said we had plenty, and you're right. One of them is this young man, kind of his coming out party for the CSRA.
Yeah, Preston McNair.
Yeah.
Was, again, you said we showed up for the Trayvon Dunbar show, but McNair getting plenty of airtime too.
Yeah, 9 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. And here was Trayvon Dunbar's first of 2 scores tonight. Got in there on a short touchdown run. He's well over 100 yards. And here was the fake punt where Will Holder hit his man Baylor Davis across the middle and just caught everybody off guard for the touchdown for Harlem. That got them going in the early portion of this game. This was a really good tiptoe down the sidelines play by Midland Valley's number 16, Torian Whiteside, setting them up deep in Harlem territory. And here goes McNair fighting his way down to the one we thought, but no, one of the officials said touchdown. He got in there, and this was a great little throw and catch from Evangelista to Key Williams. Remember that name. It'll be coming up later, I'm sure. And here goes McNair with another solid run. Again, he's averaging 10 yards a carry tonight. Tried to rip the football out there at the end, but he held on to it. And here was the run of the night from Dunbar. Watch this. They thought they tripped him up there. They thought they got him right there. They thought they got him right there.
One of the plays of the year,
yeah,
he
just kept running. And like I said, he and Telly Johnson perhaps have a battle for the play of the year so far. And then this beautiful throw and catch from Evangelista to Key Williams, a missed tackle, and it's a touchdown. And that is where we stand, 21-14.
And updated stats on Dunbar now, 874 rushing yards for the year and 7 touchdowns. All right, time for the second half. Harlem will receive the second half kickoff when we return. Thanks for watching the Eichholz Law Firm Halftime Show.
I'm here at midfield with Coach Boyder. And, Coach, your team really came alive at the end there. Can you talk to me a little bit about that momentum and how you plan to carry that into the second half?
Yeah, that's huge. Just our offense being down by 2 scores, able to put a 2-minute drill together and score to make it a 1-score game. Big momentum shift. I know they still have the lead. Good team. A lot of big plays for them. Hopefully we'll have more big plays in the second half.
They've had a lot of big drives. Can you, what is the approach or how do you shift your defense when you see big plays like that?
Yeah, I think we were trying to play an extra guy up on the line of scrimmage. Might not do that so much more in the second half. Try to let our linebackers read more and be able to run fit. Really, if we just try to limit big plays as much as we possibly can, give ourselves a chance to win.
This is a 1-score game. Can you tell me what you're pleased with from the first half?
I'm pleased that we responded after we fell down by 2 scores to quickly make it a 1-score game again. I just told our guys, I don't care if we're up by 4 scores or down by 4 scores. Just keep playing hard, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate the time. We'll send it back up to you guys in the booth. John, AB, take it away.
Kira, thanks. Coach, thanks. And, yeah, AB, I mean, Midland Valley has the lead, but, boy, that touchdown right before the half was huge for Harlem.
Oh, massive. And you're right now, if they go down and score here, you're talking about a tie game. But I love what he said at the end. Forget the score, keep fighting. I said that in the first half. This looks like a game where it's going to come down to which team decides to keep persevering, keep pressing through this heat, through the battle, and whichever team does that is going to be the team that wins.
And unfortunately, the temperature has dropped with the sun being down, but still a very humid, sticky night here in the valley. In the first half, if you were with us, you saw Harlem's baseball star Will Holder throw a touchdown pass on a fake punt. He came out of the game with an injury right before that, before he threw the touchdown pass, but has not been handling his kicking duties since then. Kira, you have an update on that?
Yeah, I got to talk to Coach Boyder before we just did a halftime interview, and he said that he was in an ambulance to get looked at. Something on his side. They're hoping that it is bone-related and not organ-related, but he is currently not even in the vicinity. He's at the hospital. So we'll have more updates on that as soon as we can.
Wow. Well, we will. Our thoughts and prayers are certainly with Will and his family, his dad,
They've
Rodney.
been through a lot in the last few weeks.
Well, you mentioned, his grandfather, Terry's home burned down, and so yeah, we're all thinking about the Holder family and hoping for the best. We're underway in the second half. And it's Evangelista. He'll give he's still in bounds, stayed in bounds, and, well, it's going to cost him about 8 yards. And, well, their flag's going to give him right back to him, probably 15.
It's going to be a blindside block, I believe, on Harlem's number 36. That is Zach Lucas. He was just trying to make a play for his guy. He actually knocked the defender into Evangelista and knocked them both down.
Well, that's a good call. I thought we were going to have a targeting.
Block in the back on the offense.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a play, but you're so close to stepping out of bounds. You're getting the ball to the 35, 36-yard line. Now you're going to be all the way back on your own 17.
Yeah.
So an inauspicious start to the half for Mark Boyder's team.
You're right. When they do that up kick like that, that's a welcome thing. Just catch it, go straight forward, and get as many as you can. But I understand if you're a playmaker, and that's Evangelista is, you're trying to make a play there. And then Lucas was trying to make a play as well, trying to block for his guy. Just caught him a little bit on the back.
In and out of the hands of Key Williams, who had the big touchdown catch near the end of the first half for the Bulldogs. He had 75 yards worth of catches in the opening half and the touchdown. Evangelista over 100 yards passing in the first half. In fact, it was a tale of two teams in the first half. Harlem threw it for 154 yards, only ran it for 71. Midland Valley ran it for 236, but only threw it for 38. And now Harlem will keep it on the ground with Boyd.
Yeah, one of their better runs of the night, really.
Yeah, Corey Boyd.
35, Corey Boyd on the carry. Followed by number 7, Andon Hopkins.
Corey Boyd in that first half, 4 carries for just 13 yards. So they bottled up this Harlem offense.
Yeah.
The ground game.
And really, if you take out that last drive, they bottled up the offense altogether pretty much. That's why that last drive was so impressive by Harlem.
3rd and 2. Line to make is the 28-yard line. It'll be Evangelista. He'll have it.
Yeah. Direct snap, let him pick a spot and run, and works out well. I like Evangelista. He's a really good athlete. He's very accurate on his throws for the most part. And the one thing he seems to have, I don't know if you've noticed, John, how many times tonight he's directed somebody in the offense where to go. He's got a firm grasp of this offense. Obviously, last year getting to watch as Ryan Newman orchestrated and come in and play some. But he's got a really firm grasp of this offense for Coach Boyder.
Evangelista will throw again, and it is broken up at the 40-yard line of Midland Valley. And one of the Mustangs is slow to get up as he hit the ground pretty hard. They all went up for the pass. It went out of our camera range.
And that's Butler, who's had such a good game in coverage tonight. If you're the Harlem coach, just say, hey, I just think he needs to sit out if he plays.
Sure, he won't mind. Busby's instant replay.
Oh, his own player.
They were all going for the ball, and they ran into each other.
Yeah, Hosey Dukes came over and caught him with an elbow, a forearm to the head.
So he'll come out for a play, but jogging. That's good
Yeah,
news.
and also motioning that he's okay. That's good to see.
Hard-hitting Midland Valley secondary, but they've been taking some shots of their own.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of guys are taking some shots tonight. For sure.
The Evangelistas connect. And nowhere to run as Garrett Miller gets his name called for the first time tonight.
And by the way, just to revert back momentarily, that Holder touchdown pass is even more impressive now. But we know that he had something going on and it didn't faze him. He came out there and threw the TD.
Big third down for Harlem early in this third quarter.
Yeah, got a new running back in there as well, number 20, Malik Tyler.
3rd and 5. And the officials step in. Gonna be 3rd and 10.
False start on the offense. Still 3rd down.
Now, Harlem was not penalized that much in the first half, just 5 for 25 yards. But a big one to start the third quarter.
It looked like motion on the near side wide receiver.
Well, 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 10. It's 5 yards, but it seems like a lot more when you're trying to make a play call here.
Got to get to the 43. Evangelista will scamper. He'll have it, and he's got a bunch more into Midland Valley territory. Finally brought down at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, great run. Again, there you see the athleticism. We talk about his passing, but he can run, and you see it here. Looked like he might go down. He almost did a little Kenny Pickett fake slide there.
Andon Hawkins finally caught him.
Yeah, Hawkins is a tackling machine. Hadn't called his name much tonight, but able to get the tackle there.
The leading tackler on this Midland Valley squad. Evangelista is going to be ruled down.
Such a fun atmosphere. Like they're into every play.
They are.
How many places do you go around here that like the crowd's asleep at these high school games?
Yep, they are into every play. You're right. On both sides. You know, they know both these teams are pretty proud of what they're doing this year, and in Harlem's case last year as well. That's Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler getting the call. He's still on his feet. Good, hard run. Took 3 blue shirts to bring him down.
Yeah, they're starting to hit out there. You're right. He delivered a blow, and then he took a blow after that.
27 yards, by the way, on the Evangelista first down.
And by the way, Football Friday night, you'll want to tune in because I'm hearing that Corey Tillman is putting on a show for North Augusta, the North Augusta QB. Look forward to seeing those highlights tonight when I get home.
He was impressive a week ago on Game Night Live. Evangelista for the end zone.
Oh.
And the pass.
That was almost a David Tyree ball to the helmet catch there.
That was almost going to be the best catch I'd seen in all the years we've been doing Game Night Live.
Bryson Kemper kept it from happening.
2nd and 10.
And he put it up there where his receiver could make a play at it.
Got to get to the 14 on 2nd and 10. And it's Boyd back in. And he'll be inside the Murphy Auto Group red zone at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, this is another solid drive being put together by Harlem. I would say their 2 best drives of the game was the one right before the half and this one. And also they're eating up some clock and wearing down the defense a little bit, maybe from Midland Valley.
Big third down. And somebody lost a helmet. It was Evangelista on the keeper. He was the one who lost his helmet. You saw the flag fly in late.
And you might have heard the fans erupt because they didn't like the flag.
That was
call.
Quite the arm on that flag.
Man.
He threw that flag 30 yards.
And that looks like they're not going to make Evangelista come out of play, which is usually what happens after somebody loses their helmet.
I think if it's a penalty and the defense does and rips it off. Yeah.
So that's another benefit for Harlem as the officials still continue to sort this out.
I said that Evangelista is super crafty back there on the offense with his fake handoffs and fake pitches, and he fooled everybody on that play. And he is going to come out for a play.
So Harlem will have to run in a second quarterback.
First and goal for the Bulldogs from less than 5-yard line.
Looks like number 8, Wesley Williams.
He's a senior.
Actually,
Well, the snap is going to go to Giovanni Arroyo, who's actually run for a couple of touchdowns this year. So this is not his first action. He'll be stopped here.
Yeah, 8 came in and ran up front. I thought he was going under center. He was just going to be a blocker for Arroyo.
And now Evangelista will check back in.
Yeah, in Columbia County, if you're looking at, you got Wilson Donnelly at Augusta Christian, a good quarterback. You got Amari Clark, a really talented at Grovetown, but you throw the hat in the ring for Evangelista, top quarterback in the county, maybe.
Misdirection, and Midland Valley was up to the task. Looked like Jeremy Freeman, one of the men in there, big number 92. And I would almost be positive this is, especially with your kicker not even in the ballpark right now, two down territory for Harlem. And official steps in. What do we have?
He's running over to the Midland Valley sideline. The crowd got really loud there. And
great job by our guys in the truck. Get a shot of that raucous student section. Now it's 3rd and 1. Evangelista will keep. And he will be close. It'll be 4th down. Mark Boyer will lead the offense on the field.
This is a big play in this ball game, really.
Oh, this is a huge swing play. If Midland Valley can somehow get the stop here after Harlem has exhausted all of this time, basically the first 7 minutes of the 3rd quarter, if they come up empty here.
This is where it's tough when you're on the 1 yard line and you're 5 yards deep in the shotgun and not under center.
4th and goal
there he
from
goes.
the 1. The officials stop things again. And again, looking toward the Midland Valley sideline. Don't know what all that's about. We're ready to go. Evangelista will roll out, give himself some options. Going to keep, and he's in. Touchdown, Harlem.
I was a little surprised by the play call. Credit Mark Boyer there. Rolled his quarterback out, gave him the option of throwing or running, and he found a lane to get into the end zone.
So starting to be a big night for Evangelista. He had 109 yards passing in the first, and now scores the touchdown that may draw the Bulldogs even.
Yeah, he's got the touchdown pass, now a touchdown run.
He's cramping up over there.
Yeah. You see how many people were helping, though. They were like, whoa, you got to get back in there.
And Bodine hit the upright and denied. So Midland Valley will keep the lead with 5:09 left to play in the 3rd. Midland Valley takes 6 minutes and 51 seconds off the clock and drives 73 yards to draw within a point of Harlem, or of Midland Valley, and now the Mustangs will have it at their 30.
Well, their offense hasn't been on the field yet in the second half. 7 minutes gone by.
Your Dunbar, you take it 65 yards in the house, and before you to make it 21-7, and before you can get another carry, it's 21 off.
Or 21-20.
No, 21-20. Sorry. Yeah.
It's bad when the statisticians get.
I'll vouch for Nathan. First mistake in 8 years, maybe.
I doubt that, but.
So this will be interesting to see how Midland Valley responds, because Harlem has thrown the first punch here in the third quarter.
And again, that drive just eating up so much clock.
They needed it. That defense needed a rest.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys go both ways. Not maybe the linemen, but the guys in the skill position spots.
So Butler from his 30.
Oh.
And oof.
We're seeing some hitting, man.
Yeah, they are going after it. Whiteside on the receiving end.
Again, Ronald Oliver, tough customer.
Now Whiteside was taken for a ride, but picked up 2. I'm told we have a very special guest that will join us in the fourth quarter. That's all I can say. Dunbar, here goes, cross midfield to the 45-yard line.
He came down kind of hard, and his face mask, he's probably got a chunk of dirt in his face mask. Watch this at the end of the play. Watch him go down. Oh, yeah, he went down hard on his face mask. Yeah, see, they're trying to clean the helmet up. He got it on his face. You see that great shot by the camera crew.
It's a John Madden look. The lifelink of Georgia first down, 23 yards for Dunbar. Yeah, John Madden would have loved Trayvon Dunbar.
The telestrator would have been out on that play.
We're going to get you one of those.
I would love it. I would have been showing you where all the mud was flying. And
McNair back in now and pushed back. So Dunbar, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half, averaging 11 yards per carry. That's first down every time he touches the ball, basically.
Yeah. And, for the year, he was averaging over 10 yards a carry, or right at 10 yards a carry. So.
This time they swing it out to McNair. And he'll have the first down and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That was Antron Butler, not McNair.
Yeah, 19 instead of 9. McNair is still in there now.
First down.
So Butler to Butler. We have Evangelista to Evangelista on the Harlem side. Butler to Butler here, and Harlem's going to be inside the Murphy Auto Group red zone at the 11-yard line after a nice pickup by McNair.
I tell you, this McNair. So last year when we came early in the year to see Midland Valley, we knew we wouldn't see Dunbar probably because of the knee injury. And I was really impressed with Joe Nathan Peoples. Tonight, obviously Dunbar's been great, but I've been really impressed with Preston McNair.
Yep, McNair over 100 yards as well.
Harlem has another player shaken up.
How about 2 players over 100 yards already for Midland Valley?
Well, they tend to him. It'll give us a chance to bring up our BrandSmart USA trivia question, AB.
Yeah.
Who do we have shaken up for Harlem before we get to that?
Looks like it might be Ronald Oliver.
Which would be a big loss for the Bulldogs.
No, it's not. It's number 6, not number 5. So that's Marcus Wheeler.
He's a junior tight end linebacker. Looks like he's all right. So I'll set up the trivia question before the play, and then we'll ask it. But we've talked a lot about it. As if on cue, there's a good look at Earl Chapman, the third-year head coach here at Midland Valley. You mentioned at the outset of the broadcast that he was a star quarterback, all-state as it was, at Dunbar High School in Baltimore in his playing days, went on to play college football. He's not the most famous attendee of Dunbar High School, first and 10. And this is Dunbar. Speaking of Dunbar, it's not Dunbar High School, it's Trayvon Dunbar with his 3rd touchdown of the night. And 8th of the season. Nathan, you said he was going to have a night.
That's just they're having a great night running the football. And, man, there's so many good things come out of that when you can run the ball.
He only has 13 attempts, too. It's not like he's
Yeah, they're definitely not overworking him. It's sort of like Thompson did last year with Javante Curry.
There's a pretty big point after for Peyton Waters because an 8-point lead forces Harlem into some decisions if they were to score again, and it is an 8-point lead as Waters remains perfect on PATs this year. Okay, so we were talking about Earl Chapman's alma mater of Dunbar High School in Baltimore. He's not the most famous person to go there. Tupac went there his freshman year, and Muggsy Bogues. Remember Muggsy Bogues?
He wasn't the only one on that team that was good. They had half of Georgetown's team on that squad. Muggsy Bogues, Reggie Williams, a bunch of others.
But this question pertains to Muggsy Bogues. Okay. Within an inch, how tall was Muggsy Bogues? He was the shortest player in NBA history, for those of you who don't know. So how tall is Muggsy Bogues? We'll give you some time to think about that, and the answer in the second half, or the fourth quarter, which is the second half of the second half. You know what I mean. So Harlem trying to keep pace now. And a good tackle made on the return by Dominic Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan's had a pretty good night.
Jaden Futrell on the return for Harlem. The Bulldogs will scrimmage from their 33-yard line.
And it's just a back-and-forth game. You know, Midland Valley answers, can Harlem answer? And the interesting thing, too, if Harlem is able to answer, they've got to, go for two probably. At this, why wouldn't you?
Bodine's hit his last two, but it is an 8-point game. Evangelista. Oh, another possible nominee for our McDonald's.
Man.
Well, our Georgia Health Department hit of the game, I should say. The lumber laid there by Hosey Dukes.
Hosey Dukes will flat out hit you. I mean,
that hurt in slow motion. Pickup of two. Evangelista, boy, he's really good with that.
I told you, man, crafty, isn't he?
Yeah, the fake handoff and keeper.
Yeah, it's just, you really got to, as a defense, you saw the defensive end. He thought he had made a heck of a play. He thought he was about to bring down Boyd for a loss, and instead he turns around and the quarterback's running down the field.
Been impressed with him tonight. We saw him a little bit last year, but he's grown a lot from
last
year.
This is a different kid than we saw last year. And he's a lot more athletic than I thought. I mean, he can flat out run.
Picked up the first down. This time he'll keep it. The entire crowd lets the defense know it's a pass.
And the ball hawk, Jaden Simpkins, tried to make a diving interception there. He's one of those guys, Chapman said, is always around the ball when the ball's loose or on the turf. He's usually involved.
Yeah, Evangelista is going to want that one back when he watches that on film and sees if he'd have held it just a second longer, Elijah was wide open down the sideline.
Harlem loves the deep shot on first down, I've noticed. Again to throw, and this time split the defenders. He was looking for Elijah Evangelista, but it'll bring up 3rd and 10. Again, Harlem's passing game so effective in the first half, 154 yards, and then brought him down the field on the first drive of the second half, with Evangelista using his legs to score. Need a big play here on 3rd and 10. He's being chased, needs a block. Got one, but did not get the first down. He'll be 3 yards shy. And Dominic Morgan again on the stop for Midland Valley. He's having a big game.
Yeah, Butler and Morgan so far tonight have been the playmakers. Sean Butler in the secondary, and Morgan has made some great tackles.
I think you go for this. Your punter's is already hurt, and you really have not been able to stop Midland Valley on the ground at all.
That's a good point. It looks like Coach Boyer agrees.
So Ken Nugent, one call. That's all moment for Mark Boyer early in the second half. And it'll be Evangelista, and he will be stopped. Jeremy Freeman, again, the big lineman, will get the ball back for Midland Valley.
Interesting play call. It's almost like they had 4 verticals there. Nobody was just going to the sticks for a first down. They all went way down the field.
Yeah, you saw Coach Chapman there congratulating his line for making that big stop. Jeremy Freeman, big number 92.
And now Midland Valley has the football in Harlem territory once again.
Well, if you're Harlem, you got to get a stop. I mean, you have a whole fourth quarter left, but you need a stop, get some momentum for your defense, and that was a nice stop right there. The man who went out with the injury earlier, Marcus Wheeler, stepped in and making the tackle.
No gain, 2nd and 10 as we move under a minute to play in this third quarter. Been a back and forth game all night long. And that's exactly what we expected. That's why we put it on the schedule.
That's right.
Oh,
another big hit.
Well, we are going to have a tough time figuring out our hit of the game. And you know who, Baylor Davis.
He's got his popping his shoulder pads up, his chin strap.
Chin strap's loose.
Love it.
Did pick up 4, so it's 3rd and 6. We'll see if they decide to snap it before the end of the quarter. And they will not. Clock goes to 0, and we will take it to break. We are through 3 quarters, and your score, Midland Valley 28, Harlem 20.
All right, folks, at the end of the third quarter, you know what that means. It's time.
Well, we've got a big finish here, 12 minutes to decide this one between Midland Valley and Harlem. 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs as we begin the fourth quarter. And Butler is brought down well short of the line.
You know what? Nathan said this earlier about how the fans over here at Midland Valley are so into the game. You hear every ooh and ah when everything happens. I mean, the running back trips and you hear everybody ooh, like. You know.
And they lit up this place during the break between the 3rd and 4th quarter. The DJ spinning "Don't Stop Believin'" and everybody with their phone lights out. 4th and 4, and on this position on the field, Earl Chapman's going to leave the offense on the field.
Yeah, a couple options. You can try to draw them off if you want to, but neither team has done that tonight in several 4th down situations.
Well, Earl Chapman didn't like it, so he's going to call his first time out.
I know you try and give him some rest, but I got to have Dunbar in the game on a 4th and 5. That may.
McNair's been pretty good too, though.
Good finish here. We got a lot of good finishes across the area, fans. So tune in to Football Friday night. We will have high school football coverage, 30 minutes of highlights, scores, and reaction at 11:35 over on WJBF NewsChannel 6. Brendan Robertson and Graham Lee at Television Park right now, hard at work, putting all the highlights together from all the games across the area. Of course, we'll have our Powerade top 5 plays of the week. That's at 11:35 over on WJBF NewsChannel 6. How you feeling about that trivia question?
No doubter.
No doubter?
Yep.
All right.
Could have told you this one right when you asked.
All right.
At least, it'll be great if I miss it.
You're very confident.
Yeah, I'm confident.
I think he's going 7 feet something. You're going 7 feet something, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty confident in this one.
I was going to give you 2 inches of leeway.
Nah.
I thought
you could have done this one exact.
Okay, all right.
I really think.
I thought you might know.
Yeah, they bring Dunbar in like they just said. The only thing was if they gave him an inch in some of the reports, but
either way, you'll be within an inch.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so.
It is Dunbar. Cuts back inside. It will depend on the spot.
I think he's short.
I think he's about a foot shy. And they are saying fourth down. Big stop for this Harlem defense.
I saw Dyson Maddox. There were a few other Bulldogs in there, but man, great stop by Harlem. I believe they stopped him short depending on the spot. Yep, they got it. Good job by Harlem's defense.
And that was it's still 11:09 to play, but that was almost a must-have for Harlem.
Yeah. And you get yourself some good field position as well.
Yeah, and QB's about a quarter for the third quarter. Evangelista, 12 of 24 for 123 yards and a touchdown, and added 77 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And then Butler from Midland Valley, 7 of 13 for 86 yards with 24 yards rushing.
So Harlem from its own 41, down 8. This time Evangelista will pitch it out to Boyd, who got a nice head of steam, gets across midfield.
Man, he pitched it. If he had pitched that a half a second later, the defensive end might have gotten it. Great play call there.
And it is a first down, pickup of 10 for Boyd.
First and 10 Bulldogs, Mustang 49-yard line.
It's going to be some interesting choices for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players in the game because A, we don't know who's going to win yet, and B, there have been a lot of strong performances on both sides. Evangelista, I don't know if that was a fake or some confusion in the backfield. He'll make something out of nothing and pick up 4.
I think it was because the defensive end was in the way of the play. He couldn't pitch it, so he took off the other side and actually made a positive play out of it.
Almost the same thing you talked about on the previous play.
He's just got a great feel for the game and a great feel for this offense.
Trying to get to the 40 for a first down. The 39, I should say. Evangelista looking long. Has a man complete at the 14-yard line.
Wide
Ronald
open.
Oliver.
Now, again, I've been preaching all night on how great the two sides' defensive players have been on staying with the receivers. Here, Oliver got behind his man, and Evangelista delivered a nice pass.
30 yards from Evangelista to Oliver, who's had such a big game on the defensive side. Now a big play on offense. Evangelista will keep, finds a hole through the middle. Evangelista in for the touchdown.
Evangelista said, "What do you mean you don't know who the player of the game is?"
15-yard scamper for the score.
Now let's see what they dial up here on this two-point conversion.
They will go for 2. Try to tie it up.
I like kind of what we saw on their previous touchdown, kind of get him out of the pocket, give him a run-throw option.
See, they did great on that play, but it surprised me because he's done so good, almost like that quarterback draw up the middle. But you're right, on that play, it worked perfectly.
Evangelista's second touchdown of the half, second touchdown of the night. And right down the pipe for 2. And we have a tie game in Midland Valley.
Evangelista to Evangelista, the two-point conversion is good. What a drive by Harlem. First, the defensive stop as well.
We got a ball game, boys.
The Bulldogs, no give up in them. And now they've taken the momentum.
Another furious finish on Game Night Live. And while we have a moment, let's send it down to Kira Goldston with a very special guest on the Harlem sideline. I'm sure he's happy, Kira.
Yeah, guys, a very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Harlem baseball coach Jimmy Lewis. Coach, how pleased are you with what you just saw? They just tied the ball game.
Well, this is a good ball game. We were behind, and we took it down and scored it, tied up 28-all, so we're hanging in there.
I know you're very pleased with the football game. Can we talk a little bit about baseball for a second? I know you're deep into weight training. Can you tell me how you're ramping up for the season?
Well, you know, we lift weights Monday, Wednesday, and Friday all year long. Chris Waters is my #1 assistant coach, and he is also the weight training coach. Does a fantastic job, and he's getting them strong and ready to go.
I know so many fans are hoping to see you win your 7th championship. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're excited for this season?
Well, I'm excited to get back at it because it's just fun being around the coaches and the players. Keeps you young. You can tell that by looking at me, I'm young. But, it's just I'm ready to get it going because you get a little bored when it's all over, but I'm still enjoying that 6th state championship right now.
Mid-January cannot come soon enough. Thank you so much for your time. I'll let you get back to cheering on your boys. Thanks, Coach. Back up to you guys.
Well, and he should enjoy that 6th one
bet.
for a while.
37 years in the making.
Run there, man.
And now, here come the Mustangs.
Here's the difference. There are a lot of backs that are probably close to Dunbar, but the difference is how he's able to run through tackles like that. And I'm sure that's what all the major colleges that are looking at him, I'm sure that's what they see as well.
Pickup of 12 on first down.
I mean, the list: Ole Miss, Penn State, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Louisville, Michigan State, Boston College.
And another good, tough run, pickup of 7.
Yeah, I believe that was Butler, 19. Yeah.
Antron Butler. If you were with us earlier in the game, Harlem's punter, Will Holder, who was the star pitcher of that state championship team this past spring for Jimmy Lewis, had to leave the game, and we later learned had to be taken to the hospital where they were looking to try to figure out something that's wrong with him. Kira, you have an update for us.
Lewis, I promised him that I wasn't going to ask him in the interview about him, but he did share with me that Holder let him know that he has 2 broken ribs, but that there is nothing wrong with any of his organs, like his spleen. So Coach said he's pleased. It's not great, but it could have been worse. So we're happy to hear that he has a few broken ribs, but he's going to be okay, guys.
Wow. So with 2 broken ribs, he threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's it's like Charlie Morton pitching in the World Series on a broken leg.
So we've been talking about Dunbar, and we've been talking about McNair, and how about this? Butler with another nice run.
I'm going to leave the McDonald's offensive and defensive player up to you. No pressure.
The problem is we got to find out.
Got to figure out who's going to win first.
Yeah. And by the way, I just got a message from Will Holder's dad. He said the safety folks for Midland Valley and the school folks were amazing. Our athletic trainer, Robert, as well. So no liver, no damage like that, just broken ribs. So great to hear.
Yep. I hope he's back in action soon. McNair to the 27.
Number 9, Preston McNair, serious middle. Short game.
This has the feel of one of those games where it's just going to be whoever has the ball last. Second and 9 from the 28-yard line.
Second and 9 from Bulldog, 28-yard line.
It's Dunbar. Got a block. Got the first down. Dunbar, look out! Just tripped up at the 3-yard line. Who made the touchdown saving tackle?
One of the smallest players on the field, I believe it was 28 for Harlem, Tucker Combe. And I think that's who got it. Look who he's getting blocked by, and he still is able to make the tackle. Like, it's a great play for Midland Valley, but nice work there, Tucker Combe, to fight in there to make that tackle.
But Midland Valley into the Murphy Auto Group first red zone and into the end zone goes Dunbar, his 4th touchdown of the night.
Every time we say who's going to be the player of the game, he scores a touchdown. So trying to make my job easy. Thanks, Trayvon.
Kira, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach Chapman about this team, and he said, everyone sees our physical toughness. They don't see our mental toughness. And they actually have a motto, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I think we're seeing those tough people lasting in this game, guys.
That's good stuff, Kira. And it only Midland Valley drive strikes quick. Only took 2 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock, which is good news for Harlem. Now they have plenty of time left. It is 35-28. And how about these numbers? Trayvon Dunbar, 202 yards tonight and 4 touchdowns. And we'll be right back. Back at Midland Valley, where everybody in the press box is now on 1,000-yard watch for Trayvon Dunbar.
They are. I love that.
Everybody up here comparing notes during the break, the Midland Valley folks. And right now we have Trayvon Dunbar on 957 rushing for the season, 43-yard shot. When Nathan said this week during one of our text chats, AB, that he thought that Trayvon Dunbar could have a huge game and go over the 1,000-yard mark tonight, I thought he was a little crazy.
Well, and again, especially after I talked to Coach Chapman last night, and he said Harlem was the one team that stopped us running the football. But, yeah, he's piled up 202 yards and 4 more touchdowns. Just a great game. And really, give credit to the offensive line. It's almost hard not to look at them as player of the game. Can't do that, but because they've opened holes for everybody that's run the football tonight.
So back and forth we go. Can Harlem answer? Evangelista. First down throws behind the receiver, second down.
Kay Williams wanted the ball up at the top of your screen, and Evangelista's had a game too. Boy, he's been outstanding running and throwing. And those guys right there, though, all those 50s, those numbers, those are the key right here. They've got to protect for their quarterback, block on the running plays, keep Midland Valley's defensive front, which is really big. I mean, look how big the Midland Valley guys are up front on defense. Oh.
There's that pitch again. Huge block behind him.
Well, there's going to be a flag, too, personal foul for hitting the quarterback after the play. The defensive end just leveled. Watch this play if we get a shot of it.
Malik Tyler on the big pickup.
The defensive end absolutely leveled Evangelista. And Evangelista just picks up the flag.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
Yeah, thanks.
When it's not on you, it's, Here we go.
Watch this. Right as he pitches it, he takes a shot.
So Harlem gets the call. Big call it is. That's going to move the football. They're still running with it. All the way to the 32-yard line of Midland Valley. Wow. First and 10 from the 31. And it's Tyler again. Upended at the 25-yard line.
Number 20 taken out by number 20, Deami Williams.
Did pick up 7.
Both these teams, though, just won't give up. Just going at it.
This is an instant classic brewing, to be sure. One of these teams is going to really enjoy the encore presentation of Game Night Live on Sunday. Which one's it going to be? This is Boyd. He's got the first down. And inside the Murphy Auto Group red zone. There is a flag down.
It's not going to be the call, but it looked like that pitch was almost forward, which the hit, though, at the end of the play, I think, is where the call is going to come in.
Illegal block in the back on the offense.
That's a drive killer.
You bet.
Well, I was just going to say about how clean this football game's been played in terms of turnovers, though. You know, they really, both teams have done a good job protecting the football, but the penalties are starting to pile up.
And whatever Earl Chapman said to the Mustangs at the half seems to have worked.
Yeah.
As far as the penalties go. So it'll back him up to the 28-yard line.
Doesn't get any better than this. 35-28, Harlem with the ball, trying to score. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Something special about Friday nights.
And we are happy to bring it to you each and every Friday. Evangelista. Oh, look at that. Tried to find Elijah Evangelista as the defender was hitting him.
And again, it was a great fake. The defender that hit him was Kamari Curtis.
And a very athletic throw, but missed its target. So big 3rd and 6. Once again, definitely 2-down territory for Harlem. Trying to get to the 22. Evangelista, fighting, pushing. He's going to be just shy. Going to be 4th and about 2. And they have not sat down once in that Midland Valley student section tonight. And they never do. All right, AB, I'll see you later. They just announced that all food at the concession stand is half price.
Oh, all right.
It's all you. And now Harlem will be forced to call a timeout. Mark Boyder didn't like what he saw.
Wow.
So it'll give us a chance to answer our BrandSmart USA trivia question. And if you were just joining us, Midland Valley's head coach Earl Chapman is a graduate of Dunbar High School in Baltimore, where he was an all-state quarterback. Some other famous folks have gone to that school, like Tupac Shakur for his freshman year, and Muggsy Bogues, the NBA legend, who's the shortest player in NBA history. There's Muggsy. There's the question. Nathan is, well, I'll wait for AB's answer, and then I'll tell you what Nathan answered.
Muggsy was 5'3".
And we did say within an inch. That was a caveat, so within an inch. And the answer is?
Yes,
how about
sir.
that? You were confident on that one.
Well, and also obviously I knew him, played at Wake Forest, played in the NBA, of course, with Washington and Charlotte, but he was also the same size as Evans High School star Lenny Springs, 5'3". They were almost identical in body type.
Played 14 years in the NBA, mostly with the Hornets, 146 career double-doubles. Fourth down and 2, and now it's going to be 4th and 7. Huge penalty for the Bulldogs, especially coming out of the timeout.
Well, and it's 2 big penalties on this drive after they got it. You know, they looked like they were going in to score, and 2 penalties have backed them up.
There we are under the Y in the valley in that press box.
Yeah. Dead ball, false start on the offense. 4th down.
Oh, that'll keep coaches up at night.
Yeah, again, you had all the momentum with your offense moving the ball, and huge play. The way Midland Valley's been running the ball, you almost have to make it here. You did stop them once, though.
Here we go. The Midland Valley crowd will let you know.
The receiver looks like he's running free there.
And now Midland Valley, I believe, wants another timeout.
Yeah, Coach Chapman wanted to look at their lineup and then call timeout, look at the arrangement on the offense.
Well, Jimmy Lewis, probably one of the more famous citizens of Harlem right now, with winning that 6th state championship and for everything he's done. He was the football coach at Harlem for a long time as well, 2 different tours. But nobody more famous from Harlem than the legendary comedian Oliver Hardy. There he is on the left. Born January 18th, 1892 in Harlem, made 107 films in a career that spanned some 30 years. And every year, in fact, it's coming up just here in a matter of weeks, they still have the Oliver Hardy Festival in Harlem that brings tens of thousands of fans from all over the world. That's coming up this year on October the 7th. And if you haven't been to the museum that they have in Harlem, it's in the old theater there. It is really something spectacular. Well, speaking of spectacular, Harlem needs a spectacular play here on 4th and 7. Line to make is the 22 for a 1st down.
They've got 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Keep an eye on number 3. That's his favorite target, his brother.
In trouble. Throws almost intercepted. Andon Hawkins. But the Mustangs will take over on downs.
Andon Hawkins, who leads this team in tackles, He was frustrated he didn't get the pick, but bottom line, it was 4th down. They get the stop. He's a little happier now.
Actually better for Midland Valley that he didn't get the pick.
Yeah. Now this is where Harlem's defense now has to dig deep. The offense helped them out there with the penalties, helped out Midland Valley. So now the defense has to step up. They got to stop earlier and turned around and turned it into points. They're going to have to do it again.
But boy, if you're Earl Chapman and you have 5:50 on the clock and a 7-point lead, how nice is it to have a Dunbar, a McNair, a Brown try to ice this thing?
Yep, for sure.
And run this clock.
Yeah. Your guest you had on your radio show this week said if they have a lead in the 4th quarter, nobody's beating them.
Matter of fact, he even said with 5 minutes.
We shall see. It's McNair on 1st down.
And again, the guy who got him open was Dunbar. Well, he didn't make a great block. He tried, he missed, but he shielded the defender and allowed McNair to pick up good yardage there.
We had another flag. Didn't see it come in. So that goes against the Mustangs. False start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the 24. Dunbar wants the edge. Got it. He'll be very close to the 1st down. Pick up at least 14. We'll see where they spot it. So they're going to say a pickup of 12. So that would put him at 969 for the year. You're wondering about the timeout situation. Harlem has 2, Midland Valley has 1. Brown throws, completes. It's a 1st down across midfield into Harlem territory. Torian Whiteside has had a pretty good game for himself tonight with another big 1st down.
Had the long catch and run in the 1st half where he tiptoed down the sidelines.
1st and 10 from the 42 of Harlem. It's McNair looking for room. Reverses field and Harlem all over him.
McNair on the carry. Tackle for a loss of 3.
Christopher Arroyo was one of the white shirts in there. And we're under 5 minutes to play. And as you might imagine, Midland Valley in no hurry.
Oh yeah, the clock run and just protect the football now. Can't afford to cough it up.
It's Dunbar. And he'll run out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
That's the only thing I don't love.
Yeah, I don't
fall down.
I would have done everything I could to stay in bounds.
That's what the coaches need to be yelling to him right now. Looks like he might be a little winded. I mean, there you figure how humid it was. I mean, he's run for what, close to 250 now.
3rd and 1.
978 on the season.
Harlem needs to stop, right? Oh, my goodness. That might be our hit of the game, and it was the offense.
Dunbar, a punishing run for 1st down.
You don't like to see the head-to-head collision, and I tell you what, that's a guy that I could do battle with anytime. Number 34, Banks Young, took that shot to his head, got right up and slapped hands with Dunbar, the one who ran over him.
Good to see.
Yep. That's a tough young man right there, because that was a collision.
Time starting to be a factor for Harlem.
they've played a good football game. It's just this running attack behind that big line is tough.
Dunbar again, inside the 30. And this time he will slide down.
Yeah, fans appreciate that. You hear some of them.
So they can run the clock down to close to 3 minutes.
I think Dunbar's night might be over unless they absolutely need him. He looks winded, and the coaches were pretty happy at him staying in bounds there.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to run this clock down every play before the snap because the play clocks in the stadium have not been working all game.
That's a good point. McNair.
That's that young man.
Baylor Davis again.
Yeah, Baylor Davis. Banks Young came in the backfield quickly, and McNair evaded him, but he couldn't get past Baylor Davis. He's had a heck of a game tonight for Harlem. These two teams, I mean, nothing to be ashamed of on either side. They have played their guts out. You know, Harlem, the penalties are going to be something they're going to be thinking about because they had a chance to go down and score. It was looking like they would, and those two big penalties hurt them. Still time left, but
it's getting
dicey.
Getting late.
Getting dicey.
McNair could ice it. McNair to the pylon. I'll say out at the 1.
McNair has had a heck of a game. He is a tough runner. He's only a junior. They'll have him back next year. And let's see. They're saying he stepped out before he got to the pylon.
McNair's got around 130 yards himself.
Yeah, he had 91 at the half on 9 carries. And
Dunbar is back in on first and goal from the 1. He will block. And
I'm glad they gave it to McNair. I mean, Dunbar's had a big night, but McNair's been a key to this thing as well. Not signaling anything yet. They're going to say down at the half-yard line,
which will allow Midland Valley to tick another 40 seconds off.
They probably don't mind that at all. Run the clock. Matter of fact, they probably
honestly could just just run around now. But they won't. They will give it to McNair, and he gets his touchdown. Icing on the cake for Midland Valley.
Yeah, the team rushing yardage, they got to be, over 400, I'm sure, tonight.
Yes.
Amazing. And this is going to be something that Coach is going to think about. He's going to tell his players, remember last year, they shut down our rushing attack. This year was a different story, over 400 yards on the ground.
Guy stole your moves, AB.
Well, he can keep them.
Waters on for the point after.
If I start doing that, get a paramedic. Something's happening to me.
Waters is true. Gives us a chance to thank our wonderful crew that puts these games on for you each week. Our director, Kyle Thomas, with assistance from Josh Recor tonight, a replay coordinator, Ben Price. Graphics, Josh Recor. Audio, Jeff Singleton. On our cameras tonight, Patron Hugie, Kat Gingrey, Danya Allaware, Gary Nipple. Sidelines for us tonight, Sandy Rowland. Our red cap, making his red cap debut.
Now, see, that's the form I'm talking about. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No.
That's the form we were talking. See that straight back.
See, again, and we've talked about this. I would want to be the guy that does it in the first quarter, not the guy that does it.
Well,
when it's 42
keep in mind
points.
they switched out people this time.
Okay,
he's not doing 42. I think somebody did 21 right before him. Matter of fact, it's the young lady that's trying to high-five him right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
You're good. It gives me a chance to expand on our red cap debut tonight of Andrew Robertson. Done a great job for us. In the live truck, Philip Scott. Master control, Jarrett Ledger. Back at Television Park. Our production manager is Lauren Fitzgerald. And our production timer in the truck tonight, Emily Pinocchia.
And kudos to all the crew, because today
we
might have hotter days, but we have not had a more humid day that I can recall in a while.
This one in the Laney game is Midland Valley has a player
bad cramp
shaken up.
Yeah. Next week, Nathan has predicted It's like Groundhog's Day up
It
here.
is.
Nathan's predicting cold weather coming.
So it happens when you grow up with a dad who's obsessed with weather.
Yeah. Well, hopefully for the crew's sake and for the players and coaches and everybody out there in this heat, hopefully next week it will be in the 50s, and that's kind of what we're hearing.
So with 107 seconds left, the injured player for Midland Valley is Dominic Morgan. He's had a great job.
He's had a phenomenal game.
Defense.
Yeah. Good to see him getting up. It looks like he's okay.
There is our crack staff on the sidelines. Kira Goldstein on the left and Andrew Robertson, who, for those of you who don't know, if you're a casual football fan, the red cap is not the most popular person in the stadium because he's the one when we go to break has to walk out on the field and stand there and tell the officials, no, you can't go because we're still in commercial.
Yeah. And the fans are certainly impatient at times.
Yes.
Well, Harlem, you just got to try and get a couple big pass plays down the field and get some points.
Evangelista has the arm for it, but this time he'll use his legs, as I'm sure Midland Valley has put the entire city of Graniteville back deep.
Well, got the first down, nice run, and again, Evangelista's had a big game tonight. He's approaching 100 yards rushing.
Throwing,
Beautiful
completing.
throw.
The Evangelista connection works again.
That is a beautiful throw.
Right over the defender.
Over the defender, but underneath the back, the safety coming over. Beautiful throw there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question a little bit earlier when you talked about the best quarterback in that county, and I don't know how you. I don't know if
Amari
there's one
Clark
better.
at Grovetown would be the argument. Yeah, Amari Clark's great over at Grovetown, but I think it's them two, and that head and shoulders above everyone else. Wilson Donnelly's not bad, but I think it's definitely Amari Clark. And there's another good throw.
Great throw.
And you know who we haven't talked about starting to pile up numbers is Ethan Evangelista. He's got a bunch of catches tonight.
And Harlem, AB, to your point, just does not give up.
No give up in them at all.
Inside the Murphy Auto Group red zone, just like that.
They have the perfect mascot. Dogs, bulldogs.
Evangelista eludes one guy. Now he'll just run for it and hurdles a man. Is he in? Touchdown.
This game's not over yet.
Man.
Evan Evangelista with one of the plays of the night and maybe one of the plays of the year.
The Evangelista brothers have been great, but watch this effort at the end of the play to get into the end zone. Hurdles a defender.
Wow.
And reaches for the goal. Man, what a play. And that'll probably put him over 100 yards rushing to go along with all the passing.
He had to do it when Trayvon Dunbar, in the same game, Trayvon Dunbar shook off 100 tacklers.
Yeah.
He's got 124 on the ground and 3 touchdowns, and almost another 200 in the air.
Bodine sticks another one through. So let's reset with 69 seconds left. It's a 7-point game.
Yeah, I don't have any confidence with stopping Dunbar and company. I think you have to onside kick this, even though you have 2 timeouts. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I think you onside kick it because I don't think there's any difference whether you do the little pooch kick to the 30 or whether they get it at the 50. Yeah, 100% you onside kick it here. Hopefully you get a bounce your way. But man, what a game! Both teams just no give up in either sideline.
And once again, we have a 1-score game with a minute to go on Game Night Live.
And the young man that's going to be doing the kicking is Camden Rockefeller.
Do we know if these two teams declined overtime, if they were tied?
It's a good question, with it being a non-region game.
Well, would it be South Carolina rules, though? Would that be the same thing? Remember, we were in Georgia.
It's a good question.
Yes, I'm not sure on how that would work. First things first, Harlem's got to tie the game up, but it's all going to come down to this because if Midland Valley gets the ball, it's going to be tough to stop them. We've seen that all night.
So here we go. It gets through, but Antron Butler seals it for Midland Valley, and the Mustangs are going to hang on.
Harlem's got 2 timeouts, but again, just not enough time.
You're going to have to get a quick 3 and out.
or rip the ball away or something. If they try to run it, my guess is they're not. Because even if you stop it after the third down, even if you stop them both after the third down, the clock's going to run down so much. Yeah, just.
I know he's exhausted, but I got to believe if I give Dunbar and McNair 3 carries, they're going to give me 10 yards.
You would think, yeah.
And worth mentioning one more time, Dunbar starts this drive at 978 yards on the season. So he will get the call. And again goes out of bounds, pushed out of bounds this time, but it'll stop the clock with 1:01.
Yeah, he tried to stay in that time.
Moves them to 980 on the season.
That is a perfect play for Harlem because now they have 2 timeouts. They could get this ball. They could get the ball back with over 40 seconds.
Instead of getting any yards there, don't get close to the sideline. Just fall down. I mean, you don't need the yardage really. You just want that clock running.
Dunbar picking his way through traffic, and this time he'll keep the clock moving. Harlem will burn that timeout, second one, with 53.5 seconds left.
Dunbar at 2:38 for the game now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the bad thing is I think that's only his second biggest game of the year because he had over 300 yards in one game as well.
Well, we've got a furious finish here, but again, folks, Football Friday night has a lot of them working for you at 11:35 over on WJBF. I'm excited to hopefully I can make it home in time to catch Brendan and Graham.
He's averaging about 240 a game.
That's amazing. And that's per game. And, of course, we talked about the per carry stats.
Yeah, 242 a game.
Yeah.
Which is averaging more than a first down a carry.
Yeah. Which, like you said, that's the impressive part. It's on 20-something carries. A lot of these guys, you see them rack up with that, and they're getting 35, 40 carries. Like Nick Chubb used to get, or Derrick Henry would get 40, 45 carries a game.
All of our local college teams have fairly easy games this Saturday. Who do your Steelers have?
We don't have an easy one. We have the 49ers coming to Pittsburgh. And Nick Bosa with his brand new contract.
Falcons have the Panthers.
Yep. Bryce Young, new quarterback.
Get the first look at him. All right, so here's Dunbar. And he'll cut. He'll have the first down. And that'll do it. Brought down at the 45.
He was at 728 coming into tonight.
That's going to put him north of, that's going to put him near 990.
I got him at 247 for the game.
Well, I believe they just announced in the press box that he went over 1,000. But
I don't think he has.
No, I don't
he's
think he
awfully
did either.
close. We're not going to nitpick. He's close.
He's very close.
And it's only 4 games. It's not the end of the year. So
he's going to get it.
Heck, if they go deep in the playoffs, he might get 3,000.
Wow, and this is a team that could make that run.
Which we when you talk about like all-time records and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got him at 975.
Yeah, Nathan's got him at 975, but Vinny Miller a few years back from North Augusta had 2,715 yards. But Dacus Turman from Washington Wilkes had over 3,000 yards in the season.
Yeah, you remember the Vinny Miller game? I think you ran for 400 on Evans that night.
7 touchdowns. Evans decided to get a late hit or some kind of penalty, and they put him back in to run again.
Victory formation for Midland Valley. No need for that.
Yeah, don't need that.
As the celebration begins in the Midland Valley stands.
We've had a hard-hitting, clean game all night. Definitely don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't forget the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game are coming your way. The Powerade play of the game, the Georgia Health Department hit of the game, all coming up.
What a game.
And they will not snap it again. History in the Valley. Midland Valley is 4-0 for the first time in school history.
What a game.
An instant classic.
Yeah, both teams played their hearts out. I know if you're Harlem, you're thinking, okay, we just lost a tough one last week, we lose another one. Keep your heads up, guys. This is preparing you guys for region play, and a great game, great effort. But, man, Midland Valley, at the end of the day, Harlem simply couldn't stop that offense running the football.
And so far, nobody this season has been able to.
And I don't know what you're going to do to stop them. Because the line's big up front. There are a lot of seniors.
Yep.
You got multiple backs that can run it.
Yeah, I had him for 439 yards on the ground for a team.
Wow. The next team to have a chance to try to stop this three-headed monster is Westwood. Midland Valley will be on the road next Friday night. And it doesn't get any easier for Harlem. They'll face the number 9 ranked Aquinas Fighting Irish a week from tonight.
And if you look a little bit further down the road for this Midland Valley team, they end the season with South Aiken and then North Augusta both at home in region
South
play.
Aiken Midland Valley game, you could have 1,000 yards rushing.
and you know, that North Augusta game, the region could come down to that game, and that's two bitter rivals.
Because keep in mind, I know South Aiken, everybody's looking at, they started 0-3. They're giving up a lot of points like they did last year, but they're also playing without Javon Edwards, their star running back.
All right, Kira Goldstein is trying to track down the victorious head coach of the Midland Valley Mustangs, Earl Chapman. Kira.
Got him, guys. I managed to get him at midfield. Coach was running away from me a little bit, but I got him. Coach, your team came out so much more dominant in the second half. What adjustments did you make at halftime?
Again, like we talked about before halftime, it was just cleaning up some of the little mistakes that we were making. I think once we were able to do that, we talked to our offensive line about some things they were doing on defense that caused us a little trouble in the first half. And I think we made the adjustments. Our O-line executed in the second half, and that was really a big part of us being successful to the end of the game.
I got a chance to talk on the broadcast about tough times don't last, but tough people do. Can you talk about the toughness that you saw from your team tonight?
It's just, what's this now? Third week in a row. You know, really 4 weeks in a row. We've had some close ones that have come down literally to fourth quarters, pretty much every game we've played. So, you know, those tough times are coming each week, but they're not lasting each week. And we are. So I think we're living up to our motto right now.
Fourth straight win, history for the school. What does that mean to you, Coach?
It's special. And it means a lot to me, but what really means the most to me is that our kids are getting a chance to experience this. You know, like you said, it's something that's never happened here. So I talked to them about the game, about being legendary, and how are you going to be remembered? And we'll be remembered as the first team to go 4-0. That's for sure.
Thanks so much for the time, Coach. Congratulations. We'll be right back. I'm here with our offensive and defensive players of the year. We're going to start with Trevion Dunbar. You had an insane night tonight. Can you tell me a little bit about the offensive performance and what your team did to help put you in a spot to be so successful?
Offensive line does a lot of great things. We started off slow, but we picked it up at the end. So our offensive line, our wide receiver getting the blocks, quarterbacks reading, that's what made me get yards that I got tonight.
What do you hope that the team takes away from this win?
Honestly, just keep moving forward. Next game mentality, just keep moving forward.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. That plaque right there is for you. And we are going to turn our attention over to Dominic Morgan. Dominic, you were all over the field. You had 12 total tackles, 7 of them solo. How was tonight's defensive performance so dominant?
I mean,
all right, AB, final thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, again, I thought give credit to both teams. This was a great football game. This is what high school football is all about. Two teams coming and leaving everything on the field. You had great performances on both sides of the ball, but in the end, you know, the Midland Valley was just slightly better. They made a little bit less mistakes, especially in the second half. And, of course, that ground game, there's something about a ground game. When you can run the football, it opens up so much, and the Midland Valley just looks unstoppable right now on the ground.
Still got some more hardware to hand out, though. Let's start with our hit of the game.
Man, so many to choose from. There we go. I don't mind that at all. That was a big hit there by number 5 for Midland Valley.
Bryson Kemper.
Yeah.
Gets the hit of the game and now the always popular Powerade play of the game.
And again, several to choose from, but I got a feeling.
It's
going to be.
Yeah,
there it is. Watch this run. They had him. They thought they tripped him there. They thought they tackled him there. They thought they got him here, and he just wasn't coming down. Part of his 247-yard, 4-touchdown night.
Yeah, that was 65 of them right there, and one of the 4 touchdowns. So your final score one more time. Midland Valley goes to 4-0 for the first time in school history, beating Harlem 42-35 for Kira Goldstein down on the sidelines. Nathan Edwards, our statistician in the booth, AB. Thank you all for watching. We will see you 1 week from tonight from the Brickyard in Thompson when the Bulldogs play host to Laney. For now, John Hartz, and so long from Midland Valley.